What is going on, guys? Jay Craft here again. We are in our pre-roll show right now. And there we go. Perfect. Hope everyone's doing well. Today's show was originally slated just to be a pickups show, where we are going to be showcasing some items, but we actually have some new news. I don't want to call it like breaking news. It's semi-new news. It's stuff that happened throughout the week that I felt was important to talk about. So we will be doing our standard news broadcast production for the first maybe half hour of the show, and then we're going to take a look at some items. Obviously, it can drone on a little bit longer. Just kind of depends on the need for explanation, questions that you guys might have, etc., etc. We're using some new music today as well. Feel free to let me know how the levels are comparative to my voice, all that good stuff. There's just certain things I don't get a chance to test beforehand. Mindy, I would kill for some lasagna. Anyone else on a diet out there right now? I am on this endless journey. Seems to lose weight. It never ends. But that is life, you know? But tonight we're going to have a heck of a show. I got a lot of coffee in me. I'm just saving my energy a bit for right now. And then once we get everything rolling. Hope everyone's doing good today, though. Is that... Did you post it to the main group, Mindy, or did you post it to the secondary group? But hello to everyone who's taken the time to be here so far this evening. $11 people here. Don't forget to hit that like button while you wait for the show to get started. Boy, oh boy, we got some fun stuff to talk about tonight. You are fine, Mindy. As always, guys, it's going to be a live Q&A tonight. If you have any questions and you want to ask them now, by all means, go ahead. If not, we'll take them after the top of the hour when the show gets started up. If you guys haven't checked out our Patreon program yet, feel free to do so. I'll leave some information in the comments right now so you can go check it out. We've renovated some of the options in there as well. Real user-friendly goodies for everyone. Hello Perf, hello Landshark, how are you two doing this evening? Thanks for dropping on in. We are in our pre-roll right now. 10 minutes till top of the hour. Not a lot, brother. Just getting ready to get things rocking and rolling. Evening to you, Future Fortunes. We got you added to our title card for our thank you card, as well as got you put into the credits for tonight's outro. I felt inspired enough to finally shoot the outro, part 9, and then next week is going to be part 10. So the penultimate, which I absolutely hate that word because of how pretentious it is. And yes, everyone, thumbs up. Evening is cooling off, hot day. Allie? Yeah. We had 107 degrees today here in Bakersfield. It was definitely a hot day, to say the least. FGS, thank you as always for dropping in. You're going to want to stick around. We got some promo giveaway that we're doing. I know you always, and I'm not saying you got to, I know you always drop a couple of bucks on the super chat, but everyone's going to get entered in to win a prize tonight. It's a pretty good prize pack. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes for people who decide to super chat and help us reach our eBay open goal tonight. We've got a prize pack worth over $50 that you can enter to win and have shipped out to you. So it'll be pretty interesting. Just because we are so far behind our goal right now of covering the eBay open cost, but we'll see how it goes. Hello, Beth. Thanks for dropping in this evening. Good to see you again. And if you guys haven't done so yet, here's a perfect opportunity to do so. Make sure you go join us on Instagram. I went ahead and dropped that in the description as well. You get some behind the scenes access. We talk about certain things that are going to be happening. When eBay Open comes up, there's going to be some exclusive images that we're going to post up there that are not going to be posted to the main page. We're going to rely on Instagram very, very heavily. Expect probably over 100 images and at least 20 or 30 real quick Instagram stories that are going to be going up. So you're definitely going to want to follow us over there at Reseller Roundup, but I provided a link in the description if you're on a PC. But if you're just on your cell phone, just search at Reseller Roundup to get shuffled on across over there. I feel like there was some other small news I was supposed to tell everyone about today, but I completely forgot. Well, hello, and thank you, Holly Clore. I appreciate that. Holly Clore just dropped a $5 direct donation to our PayPal. It's I don't know how she got it so quickly, but thank you so much for that. We're going to get you added into our raffle. That's amazing. You don't even know what we're giving away yet, but you got entered on in to our raffle. Thank you again for that. So nice of you. But yeah, I feel like there was some other story that I was supposed to talk about this week. I know we have the shareholder call coming up. And Landshark, congrats on breaking 1,600 subs. I was taking a peek at your channel earlier. It's going to be a long, hard fight to catch up with you, but I fully intend to do so. I'm gonna make that big push to make it happen. We are almost ready to rock and roll, guys. You guys digging the new music? If you're curious, we got hit with copyright strikes, and they're very, very unfortunate. And I just got your message, Holly. Holly says, some funds for your eBay open trip. Have fun. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it. And the PayPal is, if anyone wants to do PayPal, and if you do PayPal, consider doing it friends and family. That way they don't take like 45 cents out for the transaction. But if you'd like to do a direct donation, opposed to a super chat, it's going to be jaysgameshack@yahoo.com. I'll fire that into the comments right now for you. What was I going to say right now? What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, so there was a really popular creator last name Karud, and he had actually, one of his very, very popular songs that was royalty-free, copyright-free, he actually sampled 10 seconds worth of audio from another song. And because of that, the original copyright holder of the origin song, which sounds nothing like it, has gone around and issued somewhere in the area of like 1 million copyright claims against different people. And for those of you who don't know what that means, that basically says that, and this is what's really screwed up about the YouTube system sometimes, is that because I used a song that contained 10 seconds worth of remixed audio from an original song, the original song creator gets to claim all of the money that I make in ad revenue off of that video. And so I told YouTube, I'm like, hey, just stitch that audio out. And I used the beta tool, and it actually desynced my entire video. So now it's really difficult to go back and watch that video, and I actually can't recover the original format on that one. So when those things happen, it's just literally like taking money straight out of my pocket. And it's affected a lot of people. I know some people who have a couple hundred videos that their outro contains that snippet of the song. So for this video, we're using different music, and we've actually had to provide royalty credits in our description. But this is the last time, this week or next week will be the last time that we're using this audio. We've actually hired a composer to create an entire album worth of music for our channel. So we're going to have all new custom original channel music in about 2 weeks that sounds nothing like anything that you're hearing online. It's going to have a lot of flavor that's going to be inspired by stuff like this, but it's all original creations specifically for our channel. And it did cost a couple of coins, I'm not going to lie, but it's one of those things that I guess anyone who's going to be taking this very, very far, who has that, you know, we're going to be here for 10, 20, 30 years type attitude, you may as well get it done now. And with you know, with the website that I went to and the creator that I'm working with, really, really nice guy, really, really sharp guy, quality content, so it's going to be good. It isn't shared, it's shared, isn't it? I don't know what you mean by that. If you mean like as far as is the audio shared? Yeah, it's a royalty-free song, so you know, if you're using royalty-free audio in your music, the problem with royalty-free is that, let's say I own a song. Like the music that I'm getting, I'm going to own it 100%. I'll own the entire rights of it. No, it's actually not revenue shared, because what they'll do is they'll claim the entire video, okay? And then if you counterclaim it, you're opening yourself up to a lawsuit, and you're saying, I'm legally willing to represent myself in a court of law if the original person claiming against me wants to pursue legal action. I'm saying I am willing to go to court, and I will fight this as if I allow a counterclaim. Or I can say, take the money. And those are really the only options. Or I can remove that portion that they're claiming, but the problem is that they'll claim the entire video, not just the portion. So I will have a video that has no audio for the entire way through. And I would rather say take the money and have my 2.5, or this one was 3.5 hours worth of content I created versus taking it away from everyone. It just doesn't make much sense. So, and that happened, no BS, 15 minutes after the last show ended, I received a claim on that video, and there's nothing I can do. So with this new music, I'll own all of it, 100% of it. So I won't have to worry. I'll still have to worry, but I won't have to worry as much. Because let's say I own the music, and I go to you, Landshark, and I say, hey, I'm going to give you the rights to use this music. You can use it however you'd like for commercial purposes. You have the rights to it, but let's say a year from now, somebody hears that song and they say, hey, I really like that song. We're a recording label. We would like to buy the rights to that song. And I sell them that song for, you know, $10,000 or $5,000, even $1,000. I sell them that song so that they can have it. Now they can take that song and they can claim against everyone, including people that I've written permission to, because I am no longer the authority to give permission to that media anymore. It's now the person I sold it to. And that's happened a lot. So even if you go online, I can right now, I can pull up that Karud song on 20 or 30 different channels that have it titled as a royalty-free song. So unless you've actually reached out to the original creator and said, hey, is the license still considered a royalty-free license? Does it require attribution? Am I legally allowed to use this? Unless you get direct permission from them, and then even then they can still sell it. That therein is where lies the problem. So we bounced around a lot on our music, and even this music, I've had to work really hard to make sure that I'm allowed to use it. We're almost at the top of the hour, guys. Music rights have prevented or delay lots of TV shows to be on VHS or DVD. Yep, 100%. Same with video games, too. A lot of people don't know that. God, which one am I thinking of? I know Mike Tyson didn't give the rights for his likeness for the remake for Punch-Out on Super Nintendo, but there's also been a lot of audio issues as well. Where is everyone tonight? I guess we're gonna start this show a little bit light tonight. We only got about 20 people in the house, but let's have ourselves a good time, guys. What is going on, guys? This is Jay Craft with the Facebook group Bolo Around Pickers Lounge, coming at you live again from beautiful Bakersfield, California. Today is July 14th, 2019. We have a great show in store for you. Now, I know I said last week that we were only going to be looking at items, but I kind of had a change of heart. We had some big news happen, and I know a lot of you come here specifically for your news, for the world of e-commerce, so I thought I'd go ahead and put together some news stories that I felt were very, very important to cover coming into the next week, coming in towards eBay Open as well. Firstly, we have new laws that are going to be affecting California sellers that have been passed this last Tuesday. If you sell in California, you're going to need to know these changes. Now, if you don't sell in California, trust me, the precedent is being set right now. It's important to make sure that you get in on this information. eBay also did an event called Hack Day. Still trying to figure out what it's about, but I'm going to share some of those details with you. On top of that, Etsy is really making a big push towards free shipping, and even going as far as saying that if you don't jump on board, we're going to suppress your listings. It's a radical move by the home goods company Etsy. I did not see that coming. On top of that, we're going to be talking a bit about eBay Open. And we're going to be looking at the last of the, the estate sale clear out items that I picked up almost 2 weeks ago that I would really love to get listed. Have a little bit of story time for you as well with that. And on top of that, guys, we're going to be talking about a bit of a giveaway. Now, I don't think we've ever done a giveaway here on the show before, but we're having a little bit of trouble getting to our eBay Open goal right now. If you look over here in the corner, guys, we're at 1,135 and we're trying to get to 3K. So I thought to myself, I'm like, what could I do to motivate some people to help donate to the cause? Now, obviously, I don't want to give away really good items because it goes without saying I could sell the item and put it towards the budget, so it would be kind of counterintuitive. So I thought to myself, what could I do that would make somebody want to click that super chat button or make somebody want to donate directly via the link in the comments, jaysgameshack@yahoo.com. And I decided if you're willing to donate at least $5 tonight to help cover our eBay Open cost, we're putting together a heck of a prize package. We're going to be selecting a winner tonight. We're going to be using the website random.org. We're going to put everyone's name into a list, and we're going to randomize the list 3 times. Whoever name is on top after the third randomization will be winning. If you do not know about random.org, they are the most authentic, certified randomization service on the internet that you can find. So everything is going to be on the up and up. So far, we have one person in there right now, which is Holly, who donated directly before the show. So let me tell you about the prize package we got for you. We can all use more shipping supplies, and we can all use more things to help us out. The first thing you're going to be getting is, if you have a Dymo, guys, we're going to give you a roll of Dymo labels. If you don't have that, we're going to try and get a roll that's comparable to what you need. You're going to get a roll of eBay tape. It's a really nice one, too. It's one of their colorful ones. You're going to get some listing supplies, which I think are super important. I haven't done my video on my staging area just yet. You're going to get a couple of these clamps, which are great for holding down twill, holding down rulers in place on the side of your work area. We're going to give you a stand for propping up. I use this for DVDs, cases, assorted other items. We're going to get you 3 cable cuffs. These are great for staging. When you have items that have cables and you just want to get them bailed up for your photo, these open and close super easily. They got a nice little ratchet on them and they stay in place. I recommend investing in these. Just as a reseller, you can have some in your back area for storing your stuff away. We've got a bunch of these. We picked these up at the estate sale and I've been using these for the last week or so, taking my photos, and I love them. I didn't think that I was going to get as much value out of them as I do, but it is really nice having something clear that I can lean an item up against, and I can even turn these things sideways or put them out at awkward angles to be able to lean things up without it really interfering with my shot. So we're going to send you 2 of these if you win. You're going to get a tall one and a short one. If you're interested in some of these just a la carte, feel free to send me a message after the show. And then on top of that, now those are great items just to have, okay? We have a bunch of eBay supplies too, because like I said, I don't want to affect the bottom line that much. You're going to get 10 size 0 bubble mailers. You're going to get 10 of the big boy bubble mailers, and then you're going to get some boxes as well. You're going to get 10 6x4x4s, 10 9x6x3s, which are great. They fit inside a priority padded mailer, so if you ever want to reinforce one of those, and you're going to get 10 8x6x4 boxes. Now these boxes are fantastic if you're like me and you ship smalls a lot, you do a lot of first class and you're looking for some lightweight materials, they're fantastic. So you're going to get 50 pieces of packaging material, a roll of tape, roll of labels, clamps, and stands. You get entered for a chance to win. All you got to do is donate $5 to help us out with our eBay Open project. Yeah, that's the skinny on that. So I just wanted to get that total up there in the corner for you guys. But yeah, thank you everyone for taking the time to be here tonight. We got a full house with us. I want to give a first thank you to our admins, both Pam and Mindy, for assisting with the show. Those of you who don't know, Pam runs the Instagram in the background. I am so lazy about that. I send her footage and I'll send her images, and she'll even harp on me about it as well. She'll tell me to, get something put together. I am the worst about getting it done. And if you guys have visited that Instagram page, I just want it to be known. She does 100% of the work on that back end. I don't handle any of that. So thank you to you, Pam, for doing that. And those of you who don't know, Mindy is the backbone of our group chat when it comes to making sure that everyone is nice and well behaved and making sure that everyone gets added to page 2, our secondary page. And she reaches out to me with any concerns and stuff like that. So I would just want to give an extended thank you to both of them for helping make all of this possible. On top of that, we have a new patron we want to welcome as well. That is going to be Robert Swang. I was looking for the last name. I know it's Robert. Robert with Future Fortunes. Definitely check him out. Check his channel out too. And thank you to him and all of our patrons for helping us do what we do. That's what we do every week. We pay thanks to them at the top of the hour. We're going to say extra special thanks to Pam, Matthew, Ashley, Anna and Joe, Allie, Lee James, Brandy, and Rob. So thank you to everyone, and thank you to all of you for being here this evening. Without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into some news today, because that is important stuff, guys, this news program. If my slideshow wants to work, we have a lot of stuff running in the background to be able to maintain the program this evening, so we might be having some issues with some of our tech guys. We have some new laws coming to California. You're going to have to forgive some of the slides. I didn't put much effort into them this week because it was just within the last couple of hours I decided to put this together. Have you been following the news? Have you guys been talking amongst yourself about AB-1790? Right? That new bill that just passed on Tuesday? Yeah, it was a bill that was introduced in February that just passed this last Tuesday through the Senate. And this is going to cover all marketplaces. Now, in the actual bill itself, the verbiage and the direction was pointed squarely at Amazon, because there's a lot of things that Amazon has been doing that the California government or the California lawmakers aren't really pleased with, but it's important to understand that this is going to affect all marketplaces, all the way down to Facebook, believe it or not, because Facebook is considered an e-commerce marketplace where people can buy and sell and handle online transactions with each other. And if you thought the online sales tax wasn't bad enough and you said, how much more money can you get us for? It could cost the average California seller about $1,000 more per year to continue to do the same business that you were already doing. I know, it's a little bit disgusting. So just on the surface, some of the things that they're looking to figure out or looking to sort out, so to speak, with Amazon that they've had issues with is, why are Amazon sellers being suspended? Holy mother of gosh. Donna Lockwood, you done broke me mid-sentence. Wow. We're gonna get you 20 entries. We're gonna do one entry for every $5. We're gonna get you 20 entries into tonight's raffle. You're also going to get a very special thank you from me. I might even send you out a care package. Everyone, let's give a wonderful, huge thank you to Donna Lockwood for the $99.99 super chat. I don't even know what to say about that. Holy cow. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to reach out to you after the show. But let me get you Donna Lockwood. And we're going to get you 20 entries into our competition, or our little thing we have going. There's 5 of them. And I'll show you guys, I'll show you what we're using here in the background so you guys can see. Oops, wrong button. Where is, oh, it's on my main page. Hold on. I'll show you what we're using. We are using, oh, is it going to show up? Give me 1 second. Properties. We're having a little bit of trouble displaying our ticker, but we'll definitely get that up and going. Thank you so much for that, Donna. I'm going to reach out to you after the show. That was exceptionally sweet of you. We'll figure out this roulette thing by the end of the show. It's a little bit intensive on the computer, but we'll get it going. So thank you so much for that. It truly does mean a lot to me. Let's talk a little bit more about this law. And if you guys have any questions during the show, don't be afraid to ask them, okay? It's important that we answer any questions that you have while you're here with me. I know I'm only here for a couple of hours a week, but even in my off hours, you're welcome to come by and find me before, after, or even during the show, and we'll help you out with anything that you might have an issue with. So yeah, here's the big thing. Here's the things that they want to cover, and we're going to actually read verbatim the bill so that way everyone understands exactly what's going on. Because like I said, this already passed, and I really do feel that this is setting a heavy precedent for all other states to be able to start making change. And the reason I feel that way is because we looked at South Dakota versus Wayfair as far as the gold standard for tax law here in America. Remember when that passed, I said, this is a kind of a big deal because now it's going to allow other states to independently set their own tax laws. And we've seen other countries take stabs at making laws and regulations that are going to affect big brands. We saw India in particular do it against Amazon, say, hey, if you want to operate here, we're not going to let you sell your own product here because you're really competing with companies that are already here and established that aren't competing with their own sellers. If we look at companies like Flipkart in India, they're already an operating brand there, so Amazon coming in is only going to make it more difficult for their existing brands. Now, I don't understand the full scope of why California is doing these types of things or who actually raised their voice regarding these policies, but one of them is figuring out why people are getting suspended. That's the big thing. Because if you get suspended on Amazon right now, it's a very, very vague, very, very confusing process. They don't exactly tell you what you did every single time, and it can lead to a lot of confusion, a lot of headaches, and it allows certain people to make a lot of money because you reach out to these specialists who charge you an arm and a leg to put together letters. They charge you an arm and a leg to try and sort out exactly what's going on. But if Amazon just offered a little more transparency regarding their suspensions and say, no, it's this specific item, this specific infraction that you did, that would help everyone along. So that's part of it. And the other one that's the big deal, the one that all of us need to listen to and be prepared for, is they're going to be requiring liability insurance for all third-party sellers. Yeah, you heard me right. Now, I don't know if this is on the heels of what's happened with Amazon recently, people attempting to sue Amazon for buying shoddy products, and Amazon basically wanting to curtail that responsibility onto the third-party seller. But this type of verbiage, it's interesting because it's not all sellers, because first-party sellers, obviously are going to have their own liability insurance. Most second-party sellers, for the most part, are going to have their own liability insurance. And the thing is, most third-party sellers don't have it. I personally am not carrying liability insurance on my end. You have your traditional insurance, your renter's insurance, which might cover your inventory, but I'm not insuring myself in a way that makes or allows me to stay protected when I sell an item to somebody else. I don't frankly know anyone that does. I've had liability insurance with previous businesses before, but I would have never put that on my scope as far as something that I would need to be responsible for. So this is, again, like I said, all platforms. They mention Amazon a few times, but there is no limitations to it. So we're talking eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Prairie Grid, even any platform that you want to sell with. This is the bill that's going to be affecting that. They also want clear guidelines regarding holds on funds. Now, they stated again Amazon, but I would like to believe that this is going to cover PayPal as well. Have you ever been in a position where PayPal simply holds your money and you don't know why? Well, now they're going to have to give you a bit more transparency as to why they're holding it. And if they hold it for more than 90 days, they actually have to pay you interest on your money, which I think is amazing. We got a couple of messages. Let's start with this super chat here. Future Fortunes coming in with a $10 super chat. Let's get you 2 entries. Future Fortunes. I got a list going over here, guys, and then we're going to randomize it. Here's another $10, and thanks for everything, Jay. You're very welcome, my friend. I truly appreciate you being around. Let me ask you something. Now, Future Fortunes, he's been a patron for just about a week now. How has your experience been? I haven't been in group chat all that much, and I apologize for that. It's been a busy, busy week. But have you had a good first week with our group? I talked with somebody earlier. I saw a person posting something online. I don't want to say their name or give too much details about it, but basically they were saying that their sales have been garbage online and that they're looking for traditional employment. They were putting together their resume. And I asked them, because they're my friend online, I asked them, I'm like, have you been following our show? And she's like, no. And I'm like, well, most of the people who follow my show, most of the people who are within the community, we're all doing really, really well right now. And she's like, really? I'm like, yeah, we're doing great. And I think part of that is that we invest the time to stay educated and we take the time to learn new things, and we really do operate as a unit. And, we throw around the word family, which I think there's a lot of family dynamics here, and which are good for some people. I know some people who've specifically said they aren't signing up because they don't care for that family dynamic. I get that, but we operate as a team for sure. When a question comes up, we all work together to answer it. And there's a good, Roger's saying diversified, there's a good range of people in there with a lot of different skill sets. I think we have 36 active patrons right now, and it's just a lovely community. So if you're not sure what I'm talking about, Pam will drop a link for you guys so you can check it out, but it's a pretty fantastic thing. Jane Miller says, because I am a licensed trading assistant selling for others, I have to have insurance. It costs me about $500 a year. Now, let me ask you, Jane, are you in California? Because here, people were telling me that their quotes that they were getting for this type of business based on their volume was anywhere between $750 and $1,000. Now, me personally, I know my volume isn't crazy, so it might be a little bit closer to the $500 range, but I would be curious what type of pricing difference we would see based on region. Jane's saying she's from Pennsylvania, yeah, and Robert says, very good and entertaining. I'm happy you find it entertaining. That's important. We want to make sure everyone enjoys it. And Jane's also saying there's no difference based on volume. Now, I actually had a variation based on volume when I was doing direct sales with coupon books. So, I have a broker here in Clovis, and I'll give him a call next week, and I'll see what he says regarding pricing, so that way I can pass that information along to you guys. This is just something that I learned about several hours ago that I felt it would be important to pass along. Here's the next one. Guys, this is a really interesting thing that they added to there. And again, I want to know who is the person that poked Congress or poked the Senate, proposed this bill and got so much traction behind it. And we're not talking a little bit of traction. We're talking one of the votes went 70-0. And the one that ultimately passed it, I think, went 12-1. There wasn't many people in that day. But there's a lot of people that were pushing this agenda. Now, this one here, it says the terms of service needs to be drafted in plain and intelligible language. And I've made a bit of a name for myself by breaking down very complicated terms of services and explaining them in an intelligible way that we can all follow along with, or at least I try to. Some things simply can't be broken down any more basic, but that's the problem that I've always had with eBay, frankly, is they'll create this very robust terms of service and they'll give you the illusion that it's easy by, giving you the header, spring seller update, having your key points, and then they bury a lot of information. And this is a problem that I've always had, because you can read the basic terms of service and you can get a gist or an understanding of it in about 20-30 minutes usually, which I already feel is excessive for most people. But then you have to open up all the FAQs, because the FAQs is where they actually put more information in, stuff that should have been in the main body. And then sometimes when you expand upon it, you have to click on the terms of service to go to another page where you can see they've altered the terms of service, but they didn't present that in the main page. They didn't tell you, tax tables were changed, or, trading policies working with international sellers or international buyers has changed. Very, very important things to know. Now, I understand, the barrier to entry on eBay is getting steeper and steeper each and every month. It may be complicated for us who are already here, but imagine if a brand new person came to the table, what it would be like to digest all of that information as a new seller. Now, Mindy sends me screenshots of these sellers who are drowning in the water in another group that I've been banned from. They're drowning in the water and they desperately need help. And it's because of that barrier to entry. So California lawmakers are now saying they want to see everything done a bit easier, a bit more digestible. Cheesehead Treasures coming in clutch with a $12 super chat. I appreciate that, buddy. We're gonna jot you in here, Cheesehead, and you got to get out to us sometime. If because I still don't know who you are, but definitely reach out to us after the show. Let's show you some love. Let's jump you into Patreon or something like that. Let's do that for you. It'd be good to have you. Because we really do like to support those who help support us as well. And the perks are pretty nice, I'll be honest with you. Thank you so much for that $12 super chat. It's helping out an absolute ton as well. And I really wish I could get this thing to show up. We might have to do some magic here after the news is up. And then what else do we have? This is a big one. I don't know if you've ever heard the horror stories of people who have their Amazon account first suspended, then their Amazon account closed, given no reason as to why, and then being told they're going to have to recall all of their inventory, and it's expensive. I've heard of people who had 50, 60, 70,000 items at the Amazon warehouse. They had almost all of their capital tied up in static inventory sitting at the warehouse, and they simply weren't able to afford the cost to be able to recall all their inventory back. They're now trying to push to make it so that Amazon has to provide reasonable accommodations before destroying their inventory. Now, what does that actually mean? There's a lot of room for interpretation when I hear words like that, and we're going to read the actual bill itself. But what I'm believing is that I think Amazon might have to open the front doors and let somebody load their own darn truck if they want to. And they might not have the legal rights to simply destroy their items all willy-nilly because a 14-day or a 30-day window expired. So this could mean thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of cost incurred by Amazon in essentially storage fees for holding other people's goods. They could lose a lot of money per interaction, and hopefully it'll make them think twice regarding suspensions. So we're going to kind of churn through this. This is the actual verbatim on the bill. Section 1 stated, as far as the TOS, they said, are drafted in plain and intelligible language. Section 2, are easily available online for marketplace sellers at all stages of their commercial relationship with the marketplace, including but not limited to during the stage prior to the formation of a contract. So if somebody wants to go and get information regarding how the brand operates, it must be readily available to somebody before they even start selling. Okay? And as you know, when I did my research regarding eBay China, and I wanted to get details regarding what it was like for Chinese sellers to actually be able to sell to us here domestically in America, none of that information was made readily available to me, which I found very, very interesting. We still need assistance getting into that China back end, getting into their terms of services. If you're able to assist, we'd love your hand on that. But they're trying to make it so that way if somebody wants to go through and read all of the terms of service for eBay, Amazon, Marketplace, etc., they're going to have to provide that. Set out the grounds. This is section 3. Set out the grounds for decisions to retain or refuse to disperse funds in its possession belonging to a marketplace seller pending investigation or resolution of a dispute between the marketplace and the marketplace seller, and the objective grounds for suspending or terminating a marketplace seller from participating in the marketplace. I'm sorry, that's a mouthful of words, but basically saying, like, if you're going to hold somebody's money and you're not going to allow them to sell, you have to tell them why. You have to put it into writing. You have to give them those answers. You can't simply say that you're not allowed to do this and that's how it's going to be, and you're going to have to sit there and twirl your thumbs while we decide whether or not we want to let you back or whether or not we're going to allow it to continue forward. Section 4, if the marketplace permits the possibility to, this is important, this is very important, I didn't mention this. If the marketplace permits the possibility to influence ranking or preferential placement within the marketplace of tangible personal property or services sold by the marketplace sellers through the marketplace, the terms and conditions shall include a description of those possibilities and of the effects of the ranking or preferential placement, whether ranking or preferential placement may be purchased, and the price of the ranking or preferential placement. What does that mean? That means if I have a pair of Nike shoes, and Nike has a pair of Nike shoes, and we have the same pair of Nike shoes, and we list them at the same time, if Nike shoes, their shoes, get listed higher than mine, eBay would have to explain to me why they got placed higher. They would also have to explain if they paid for that preferred placement, and they would have to explain what I would need to do to be able to get placed higher, as well as the direct impact of me paying for promoted listings. Hallelujah! That's wonderful! That's the best thing I could have asked for. And that also applies to Amazon, Amazon's buy box, Amazon's cartwheel, okay, the gallery of items across the top. They are going to have to allow us to get full transparency as far as why my item is ranked up higher or lower than somebody else's item, as well as what they are paying for that. So if Nike pays a specific type of royalty, let's say they pay an extra 3 points. Let's say they pay an extra $20,000, $30,000 per week for premium placement, eBay would be required to divulge that information. Okay? It's no different than if you've ever gone to a grocery store and you have all your items at eye level. This is the premium shelf, the premium cream of the crop placement on a shelf. Vendors will pay extra money to have their items placed at that eye height. They will also pay extra money for the child height. Okay? The key child height. And you want to think of things like the cereal aisle. Vendors will pay extra money for that. Vendors will pay extra money to build their own standees or utilize the end caps. Imagine going into a grocery store and being able to see, oh yeah, Frito-Lay paid an extra $1,500 this month to be able to have their chips right in front of me. That's essentially the type of transparency that we're talking about. Mindy says Amazon is in trouble. 100% they're in trouble. Yeah, eBay's really in trouble. You know what would be great? I would love to be able to be the first person to get to take a look at how Cassini actually works. I would love to see the inner workings and see, frankly, how we've been getting shafted. Because if I'm paying for a promoted listing and I know nothing I can do will get my listing higher than Nike's listing, why am I going to pay for it? What's the point of it? So they're actually going to have to explain the applicable benefits for the dollars that you're spending. It says, Section B of Part 4, if a marketplace decides to suspend or terminate in whole or in part a marketplace seller, the marketplace shall provide the marketplace seller without undue delay, so within a reasonable amount of time, with a written statement of reasons for that decision. The written statement of reasons shall refer to the specific facts and circumstances that led to the decision and the terms or conditions that permit the suspension or termination. Section C, a marketplace shall not destroy products in its possessions that are property of a marketplace seller without offering the marketplace seller a reasonable opportunity to retrieve the marketplace seller's property. Section D, a marketplace shall require marketplace sellers to purchase and maintain liability insurance to cover claims by a customer related to the service or tangible personal property sold by the marketplace seller through the marketplace. Our marketplace shall disclose the requirement in its terms and conditions consistent with subdivision A, and shall establish reasonable and effective policies and practice to ensure that the requirement remains in effect. Basically saying that the brand, eBay, Amazon, Etsy, Mercari, Posh, etc., is going to have to adjust their terms of service to be complicit with California's new laws, and that they must, with all due effort, attempt to enforce these new laws on sellers who operate here in California, including myself. Okay? Mindy, I'm going to need to borrow your home address. I am moving my business. That's what the first thing that I'm thinking of is, what's it going to take to make my business on paper somewhere in the Jamaican Islands or at a friend's house out of state? And I'm going to be coming to the table. You better believe I'm going to come to the table with some creative workarounds when that time comes. Obviously, we want to stay legal. We want to stay within the bounds of the law. But I don't think that anyone should be required to cover liability on products when, I mean, you know, the person knows what they're buying, right? I mean, they have to. Jane Miller comments, promoted listings are just eBay spam. Even more so as of late. I know you put up a post in our group talking about the issues with search right now. And the search has been completely screwed up. They've even changed how promoted will get interjected into price plus shipping lowest first, and they'll completely screw up the order on everything. Search is completely broken right now. And God, it's really going to be comical to see eBay explain this as well. On top of that, guys, we got the eBay shareholder call coming up. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. Let's churn through the last of this. We got 3 more paragraphs. I know it's wordy, and I know some of you aren't in California, but it's important to understand this is setting precedent for the rest of America. Okay, for the rest of America, the other states are going to be able to look at this and say, yeah, we're just going to do what they're doing. eBay already accepted it. Amazon already accepted it. What I'm curious about, and I have a meeting with the Small Business Ambassador Network with eBay in Vegas in just a couple of weeks. I'm having a formal sit down with them. I'm going to ask them directly, how do you feel that these changes to laws that are happening in California will affect the climate for sellers nationwide? And I want their thoughts on that. And I've talked with them before regarding tax law, which is something that's always been a pressing matter, and just to try and see what we can do to help make this, maybe happen, but it has to be redone. Okay, I think it's a little bit too loose on the wording right now. I like the push against the companies, and obviously I don't like liability being pushed onto the seller, because what ends up happening, if something does happen, if I sell somebody a battery, okay, and Amazon facilitates the sale, the buyer gets the battery explodes. Okay, and we've seen laptop batteries explode, unfortunate house fires. And here's another thing, guys, don't buy third-party batteries. Okay, if you have a Toshiba laptop, buy an authentic Toshiba battery. And I know they're expensive. They're $90, sometimes $100. The third-party ones, they explode a lot more often than you think. It's a reasonable problem that we should all be aware of. But to think that if I sold that battery to somebody, that battery explodes, and then if I don't have liability insurance, that I could be sued for it, it really feels to me that the door is going to be opening up, and I feel that the liability should stay with either the buyer who knowingly accepted the item, or in the instance of Amazon, if Amazon is going to charge me a premium to facilitate it as a second-party vendor for me, or third-party vendor relative to me, they should be the ones covering that as well. Their liability insurance should be sufficient to cover that. And I feel that this extra redundancy, especially here in California, sounds like a cash grab. Okay, our government is already like billions of dollars in the black right now, and it just feels like they're going after more of our money and finding another way to tax us on anything. If we have to spend more money, they're going to tax us. Now, here's the thing. As I said, as the barrier to entry becomes harder and harder for people to get into the marketplace, it's frankly a good thing for us. Okay, because if somebody's thinking about becoming a reseller and we say, well, the market's already tight as it is, and they learn, oh man, I have to buy $1,000 worth of liability insurance. I'm going to have $500 worth of equipment. I got this massive learning curve. I got inventory to learn. Less people are going to come to the market domestically, which might mean we may be able to start getting more competitive prices on some of the items that we're looking to sell. Moving on to the next one. Now, I want you to think in your head, what does marketplace mean to you? Okay? What is a marketplace for you? Because our lawmakers have a very, very loose interpretation of a marketplace. For purposes of this section, marketplace, with air quotes, means a physical or electronic place, including but not limited to a store, booth, internet website, catalog, television or radio broadcast, or a dedicated sales software application where a marketplace seller sells or offers for sale services or tangible personal property for delivery in this state, regardless of whether the tangible personal property or the marketplace has a physical presence in the state. Holy cow! Okay, and I saw a post, a forum response. Somebody said that the only way that I'm going to be able to sell without having to get liability insurance is going to be with a 4x6 index card pinned to the classified board within my local grocery store. And even then, I'm going to fight to retain anonymity. I just thought that was great. But yeah, apparently, television, radio, a catalog, a booth is a marketplace. A booth. Holy cow. And then a traditional store as well. So they're going after traditional stores. Now, obviously, traditional stores should have liability insurance already, but it's interesting. So we're all marketplace sellers. There's no denying that. That's who we are. And it says, for the purposes of this section, marketplace seller means a person residing in a state who has an agreement with a marketplace and makes retail sales of service. So we're talking the service industry as well. If you have a website and you sell your service, it can be massage, it can be flower arrangement, it can be house cleaning. Okay, if you have a service that you're selling on any type of marketplace, and you make sales of the service or tangible personal property through a marketplace owned, operated, or controlled by that marketplace. For purposes of this section, ranking, this is regards to item ranking, means the relative prominence given to tangible personal property or services offered to consumers through a marketplace as organized or communicated to those consumers by the marketplace irrespective of the technological means used for that organization or communication. So what that basically means, the way that I'm digesting that and spitting it back out for you guys, is that they will have to reveal exactly how they are prioritizing things separate from whatever their secret sauce is. So Google itself can say, yeah, we try and bunch up the most relevant things, yada, 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 but they're not going to tell you specifically how they do that because they don't want people manipulating it. But for the sake of paid stuff, they're going to have to tell us what the hierarchy is. Who gets precedent? Okay, who gets not precedent? Who gets prominence? Who gets the priority placement based on either funding, brand strength, feedback, whatever it is? We will finally be getting that information, at least as long as things get really pushed with this bill. Now, is there going to be room for pushback on it? Of course. Of course there's going to be room for pushback. Anything's possible. But this is already passed. Okay, this is a bill that's passed already, so we're just going to have to see what happens with it. If anyone has any questions regarding that, feel free to ask right now. Those of you who are just jumping in right now, I want to say a few things. One, thank you to all the new subscribers that have come my way. It's been absolutely fantastic seeing all of you guys over the last 2 weeks. I think we picked up 20 or 30 new subs. We picked up somewhere in the area over the last month, 100 new members to our Facebook group. It's been great. Those of you who just jumped in right now, we got 2 more news stories, but I want to stop and remind everyone we are doing a fantastic giveaway tonight. All you have to do is donate at least $5 to our cause. Oh, I think we have a PayPal donation in as well. And you're going to get this absolutely fantastic. Who is this? Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, man. I probably shouldn't mumble my PayPal password out while I'm typing it in. I have to log in. You know what's crazy is I still can't use my PIN at all. So give me 1 second. We have a $50 donation from TriLab Chi. I'm just going to put you here as TriLab, and we're going to get you 10 entries into our little contest that we have going for tonight. 2, 4, 6, 8. Thank you so much for that. I really wasn't expecting that. A $50 donation from them. It means the world to me. We'll even do the confetti thing again because, boy, we are making some progress tonight. And we're going to add that on with our other one. I'll add them off air to our running totals for tonight as well. Let me bring up my... I wonder if I can manually add it right now, or that might be asking too much of me. It may be, but we'll figure it out is what we'll do. So thank you so much to you guys. I really do appreciate it. Please reach out to me after the show. I'd love to be able to, personally thank you. When some of you guys donate via PayPal, I'll send an email out. And I think this might be the same person who sent me a donation a while ago and then just wrote the word avocado on their donation. If I remember correctly, might have been the first ever PayPal donation. I'm not positive, but thank you so much for that. We got you entered in. Let me see if I can get my browser thing working yet. That is so odd. I can't even see it. Transform. Let me see if I do this. It's there. It's just not showing up. That's so weird. Hey, let me see if I turn my camera off. If it'll show up. Yeah, you know what it is. Everything's locking up right now. I'm using a lot of my computer power again. Yeah, nope. Don't worry. I'll be right back on screen in just 1 second, guys. Everything's running a little bit churny right now. But while I am coming back, hopefully I'll come back. Give me 1 second, guys. I am so sorry for that. That's what I get for trying to make things work. There we go. There we go. I'm back. So, yes, thank you to you guys for that. You know what's crazy? Our ticker isn't even rolling up. My gosh, what did I do? I broke something. Let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get everything refreshed as far as our donations are concerned for tonight. Those of you who don't know, the next thing I plan to update after I get back into town is the computer. Because we're running everything off a MacBook right now, and it's just a little bit heavy for this computer to be able to handle everything we're doing. But again, thank you for that. It means a lot to me. Where was I going right now? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the prize pack for tonight, guys. If you donate at least $5, you get entered in to win a fantastic prize pack. It includes a bunch of supplies that you can use for listing, as well as supplies for doing your pack and ship. You're going to receive 2 of these really, really nice acrylic risers. And they're a little bit used, but we're going to get you some of the nice clean ones as well. I use these for propping up items while I'm listing, leaning stuff against it so it doesn't interfere with my listing. These on their own are probably worth about $15. It's just difficult to get nice risers. You're also going to receive a prop stand for propping up cases, CDs, DVDs, etc. You're going to get a roll of labels. We got Dymo ones for Dymo 450, 400, 450 Turbo, Twin Express. But if you have a different brand, we can get you a label sent out from House Labels. You're going to get 3, and I love these things. I can't say enough good things about these cable cuffs used for binding cables together while you take your photos as well. You get a chance to win those. You get some clamps, which are great for clamping down your material, your tarp. If you want to clamp down a ruler, that's how I use it. We're going to be making a video about my photo station here soon too, so that way you can understand the applications of it. You'll also win a roll of eBay tape. You'll win 10 size 0 bubble mailers. 10 of these big ones. I can't even remember what these are called. I rarely use them, but you'll get 10 of these. And then a selection of my favorite boxes. You'll get 10 6x4x4s. You'll get 10 9x6x3s. And you'll get 10 8x6x4s. So every $5 you donate, it'll get you one entry. We may possibly even pick 2 winners just because it looks like we're getting a ton of donations, but we'll see. Guaranteed at least one, but we'll see what we can do by the end of the night. And you'll get that all shipped out to you. You won't pay any shipping cost or anything, but if you donate at least $5 per entry, you get entered in to win that. And yes, it is a great package. It's a huge value. It's great if you're a seller and you've never used those boxes, give you a chance to try those out. Guys, let's take a look at a little more news today. At least I'd like to. Let's see if this is going to work. There we go, guys. eBay had their eBay Hack Day. Cool, right? Now, here's the thing, guys. I've always looked at Hack Day for the coding community, for people who work with Raspberry Pis and other really cool tech and equipment. And I went to eBay's website and I watched the press video that they released, and I watched the whole video and no one explained what it was. And you can watch it. It's a 2.5-minute video. It was a very interesting video, to say the least. And if you go watch it, you might understand what I'm saying. It's just an interesting video to go watch. And the website itself, it said the annual event empowers employees to invest more time into projects that have the potential to transform e-commerce. Okay, and 3,000 employees globally participated in it. I have issues with certain things like this because honest to God, it feels like an absolute waste of time. And the reason why I am okay opening my mouth and saying something about this is it's because our fees is what funds these events. Okay, it'd be one thing if our fees were going to, let's say, I don't know, eBay Open, and if eBay would select their best sellers to come to these big events that could benefit other sellers, that would be really, really great. But the fees are going to stuff like this, where 3,000 employees took an entire week off work to communicate with each other to try and brainstorm up some great ideas to help renovate e-commerce. So we're talking, I don't even know how you can calculate that out. Let's just say the average employee, makes $2,000 a week, and you got 3,000 of them. That's a lot of money just kind of getting passed out right there. So this is a quote. Hack Week is an entire ecosystem of people, ideas, resources that help an inventor take their idea from inception to delivery and execution. This was said by Senior Software Engineer and Innovations Programs Technical Lead. That is such a pretentious title. Okay? Senior Software Engineer and Innovations Programs Technical Lead, Ethan Rubinson. Jane Miller says they should fix brainstorming how to fix search. I agree 100%. Now here's the thing, okay? I looked into Rubinson a little bit. Rubinson, who won the Innovation Rotation Award in 2015 for his project on charitable giving, received the opportunity to step away from his job for 4 months. 4 months, guys, to build out his idea. His project, quote unquote, Gifts That Give Back, is now one of the many programs and applications live on our marketplace. Which marketplace? The marketplace of eBay. Okay? Gifts that give back. And here's the thing, guys. I am all about charitable donations. Anyone who's on my friends list, especially if you guys are patrons and you run a post, I don't care if it's for your church, I don't care if it's for our veterans, I don't care what the cause is. If it's good for humanity, good for society, I will donate to you. And I know there's at least a dozen people watching now who've gotten donations from me for your good causes. Now, this organization, this program that he created, allows people to be able to donate to charitable causes through eBay. Innovation, guys, won the Innovation Award. Basically, it's a whole page of listings. And it says, give $25 to ASPCA, give $50 to St. Jude, give $100 to, our armed forces and stuff like that. How on earth did someone win an award for creating eBay listings to be able to donate money to organizations? I don't get it. And you know what the real rub is? I can't make that same listing. It's in the terms of services. I can't make a listing that would donate $25 to my local food bank. And people can just go on there and buy it from the kindness of their heart to donate $25 because it's against the terms of service. Okay, you're not allowed to do it. So, Hack Week is over. I don't have a darn clue what they accomplished. I don't have a darn clue why this thing is happening, why this has happened for years and years on end, and why the people who are within the tech world of eBay are wasting their time and wasting our money to be doing stuff like this. So I'm not even going to give them any more of my attention. We're going to move on to the next one. When you hear about, Hack Week, just give it a giant thumbs down. It makes no sense at all. Here's another one, guys. Etsy giving sellers the rub. And this is something that I kind of saw coming for a while now. As Etsy became a larger company, as they started moving more in that public direction, started getting eyes on them, and as they started getting an influx of more Chinese sellers coming to the platform, really changing the standard of types of items that you would see on the platform, I really saw this starting to happen. Also, they recruited a lot of blood from eBay as well. They brought over former CEOs, former CFOs to the platform, and I knew that some of the old, tired paradigms from their previous companies would start funneling their way into the Etsy brand. Now, those of you who don't sell on Etsy, as far as I understand it, it's a brand that's entirely comprised of handmade, homemade, quality goods where the artistic person in you can create amazing goods ranging from like clothing to jewelry to knickknacks, you name it, blankets, whatever. They can craft them and sell them. And that's what it was founded on. But as we've seen with eBay, just because a site was founded on those things doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever. Look at Flipkart. They've lost their identity. Look at, what's the other one that all you darn drop shippers use? Shopify. Shopify's lost its identity. Alibaba has started to lose its identity. The platforms are really changing. Let me look at some of these comments. We got a new commenter, Donna Wester. You can make a listing and have sales sent to your charity if you choose. When you make the listing, eBay supports. Now, here's the thing, okay? You can select the percentage that you would like to go for it, but you must sell an item. Okay, so you have to sell something, handle the shipping cost, or I guess you could make it a digital goods, but we're talking about just a listing with no item whatsoever. Okay, you're saying you're just donating $25 to such and such cause. You're just donating $50 to such and such cause. There is no item being sent to you. You are not receiving anything in return. And that's where the difference is on what I can do as a seller and then what eBay is allowed to do on their end. But I hear what you're saying. I could create a listing, do 100% donation to the charity that I would like to do. That is 100% factually accurate. So I apologize if I gave the impression that I was misleading anyone with that. While we're on the topic, though, of liking my stuff, guys, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't done so yet, do us a solid, subscribe to this video. It really helps us out with what we're doing. And I know a lot of you have subscribed recently, so thank you to the massive number of new people that have come to our channel. I appreciate it. And I know some of you guys have been running around and telling other people about this video. I got a lot of nice messages from people saying, my friend told me about it, I heard about it from somebody else, and you've come across. Thank you. And thank the person who shared my content to you because it does help us out. Brandy says, my charity is Villa Lobos. Can donate when I sell and buy from others. That is fantastic. Send me some information about your charity. I'm all about supporting those. Pat the reseller, I'm sure he's present and accounted for. I just set up a PayPal account and their name, and that's where the sales go. There you go. And if I missed anyone's comments, I apologize. I'm just trying to churn through some of this news tonight so we can get on to some of the fun stuff. Because, that's what it's about, guys. We gotta have a little bit of fun tonight, right? Give me a second. I'm reformatting all of my windows right now so I can just read everything a little bit easier. You know what I should do? I should lower my resolution because I am just juicing my own bandwidth right now. My computer is getting hot. Those of you who don't know, I'm using 33% CPU performance right now just to be able to maintain this stream for you guys. This thing's going to catch on fire one of these days. So let's continue onwards, guys. So things are changing with Etsy. Etsy announced July 9th that they would like free shipping to be, quote-unquote, a core part of the shopping experience. That's a big statement, okay? Now, they've done some stuff to try and entice sellers on the platform to be okay with this. And they've set up a thing which is similar to eBay's bundled offers, but they've made it a lot easier for sellers to be able to opt into it, which I think is kind of a good thing. They've set it up so that way you can say, okay, I'm willing to do this, but there's a caveat, but the person who's doing business with me must buy $35 worth of items at one time. So whether it be one item worth $35 or more, or a combination of items worth up to $35 or a minimum of $35 or more, then I'll go ahead and do the free shipping. Now, this is going to be good for some sellers, people who are selling lightweight goods, underwear, socks, camis, small knick-knack type goods. It's going to be great for them. But people who are selling large homemade goods, we're talking things like wreaths or custom frames or custom, art sculptures, figures, and stuff to that effect. This is really going to damage their business, and it's going to damage them in a big way. It's going to damage them in such a crippling way that I can see this destroying the revenue stream for tens of thousands of Etsy sellers, because we're not just talking about a light change in business. Okay, as of July 30th, which is coming up in 16 days, Etsy sellers, you have 16 days. Okay, they will be giving priority placement within search to sellers that offer free shipping. So that's free shipping by default. So if you have an item, $10 free ship. Okay. Or if you're one of those people doing the $35 bundle, and then that person would qualify for free ship. If you do not have that, you will be suppressed. They are 100% saying we will give priority placement only to those who are offering free ship. On top of that, okay, they said that in September, they're going to let buyers know this. They're going to let buyers know that we are going to be pushing forward and letting them know that, free shipping is the thing that you're going to want. They said, quote, with the goal of driving more traffic to the easy marketplace and seller shops. So they want to make the experience a friction-free experience. And we've talked about this before. I've always encouraged people to use free shipping on eBay, but we use the robbing Peter to pay Paul method. And if you haven't seen my video on pricing strategy, we have a training video series that we are still working on, but it includes a video already that talks about pricing strategy and also explains the importance of offering free shipping, but doing it in a way that doesn't cost you money. Now, the way that Etsy's asking people to do it, yeah, it's going to cost them money, but they're essentially going to have to pass that cost along to the consumer, which could overall hurt the view of the marketplace. People don't like going and paying more for the same exact item. Now, it wasn't the biggest of deals before First Class became zone-based, and now it's just going to be a little bit harder to continue doing the same type of business. Now, the reason why they're doing this is because they held a one-day event or a one-weekend event in May where they offered free shipping, and they went ahead and absorbed the cost on that, and they said the event was such a huge success, we believe that if we do this every day, it's going to be a huge success. This is not only foolish, it is very short-sighted as well, because look at eBay. eBay offers free shipping all the darn time, okay? We got over 1 million items you can go get free shipping on right now. Look at Amazon, okay? Amazon offers free shipping for Prime members, and what is there? 12, 15, 20 million, 100 million Prime members? I don't even know anymore, okay? Both of the sites still have plenty of darn inventory, okay? Neither one of the sites saw a substantial increase in revenue by the implementation of free shipping, okay? It just doesn't work that way. So I feel that they are throwing a lot of money at something that people haven't asked for. Has anyone gone to Etsy and said, you know what, I would buy that, but that $3.50 shipping, it's just not happening. Now, I do understand what they said too. They said, we have noticed a higher conversion rate of people placing items in their cart and being willing to convert that item into a purchase when there is no shipping cost on it. Okay, well, a majority of the items that currently offer free shipping are cheaper items. Was that taken into account as well? So I feel that there's a lot of market research that simply went missing this week. And I feel that there's some rash decisions that are being made. I believe they're a publicly traded company. I can almost guarantee you, let's go ahead and say, I'm calling it right now, we're going to say that Q3 or Q4 call, we're going to see some bad information coming. We're going to see a lot of bad press. We're going to see a lot of people coming to the market saying how their stores are essentially destroyed now. They're non-existent. We're going to see share values dropping. Okay, it's going to happen. Mark my word on that. I'm usually not one to put my nose out there like that, but I really do believe that's what's going to happen. Let's take a look at some of these comments we got coming in. Roger says bingo, and I'll say bingo bango. I agree with you. Pat the Reseller says, I've never even been on the Etsy site, and frankly, I've never been on it either. I've never, gone and looked for something that I couldn't find on, first I always start with eBay, because it's just generally the cheapest. And if I can't find it there, I try and find it on Amazon. If I can't find it on either one of those, Google Shopping is my go-to. So whatever Google Shopping presents to me from there is where I'm going to go buy my item from. And some of the camera equipment that I've had to buy because of the camera that I'm working with now, the one that you're viewing me through right now, required some specialty accessories that I just simply couldn't find on eBay. So, Google led me to B&H Photo. Nice company, a little bit slow. But I've never been driven towards Etsy to make my purchase. And I know they have a lot of rank power within Google. It's just none of the items that I want take me there. And I think that might be symptomatic of me being a male. I know that the types of searches that I'm looking for don't generally drive me towards a site that generally caters more to the female consumer. Susan says, began new to selling online. It's very confusing to know where to sell. Could you consider doing a pro-con on all the different selling sites? Because I know you have all the time in the world. There's lots of pros and cons to every single site. And I say that, I've said this a lot. I think that eBay is a fantastic place to start, to kind of get your feet wet. I always tell people eBay is like high school. It really is. And then Amazon is college. And then I look at all of these other sites, Etsy, Mercari, Prairie Grit, name them all. I look at them as trade schools or, vocational studies, extra things that you can pick up along the side to help increase your range and increase your total reach to the market. Handmade items is what I see for Etsy. Yeah, it's a lot of handmade stuff, but the problem is the Chinese sellers are really starting to infiltrate. They're also allowing hard goods to be sold on the platform now as well, and they've had it semi-seasonal, but we're going to see Etsy is going to turn to eBay. But the big brand appeal for Etsy is they have their hand in the millennial cookie pot right now. Okay, they know who their audience is, and they're really, really pushing it. Etsy will become the next eBay. There's no doubt in my mind about it. It's just a matter of time. And as long as they don't screw things up, because if they play their cards wrong, they're going to screw everything up. Again, I want to give an extra special thank you to all of our patrons for making this show possible. If you're curious about the Patreon thing, we've talked about it so many times before. You get one-on-one group chat. You get to talk with 36 other members who are part of the Patreon family. Everyone loves it. The only people that ever leave are, I hear it from time to time. My husband got a new job, so I've just decided I don't want to resell. I hear that, and then I hear some people who simply just, they never really wanted to do it. You tire kickers and stuff. But everyone who's been within the family, they generally stay forever. If you'd like to help support the show and get some fantastic perks as well, check out our Patreon. I'll throw the comment up there right now for you. Tons of great perks on that. Also, if you haven't heard yet, we're doing a giveaway, and I'll talk about it here again in a bit. I wanted to kind of give everyone an update on what's going on with the estate sale thing. Let me see if I can get this stupid thing to show up on screen. I don't understand why this isn't showing up. Here, hold on one second. Let's try window capture, add existing, Chrome, hit OK. Let me try removing this one. I don't get why it's not showing up right now, so I'm going to try and... It makes no sense. If there's any OBS experts out there, ring my bell. Here, I'm going to try... Let's try showing... Okay, that works. Oh, there we go. So we got the random.org up. Let me get this moved over really quick, so that way you guys can see what's going on with our randomizer. This is what I've been doing in the background. Give me 1 second. Through the power of technology. So I've been keeping track of every single donation that's come in. Every $5 donation gets you one entry, and then we're going to randomize this 3 times at the end of the show to pick our winner. And we might have we'll do a second place prize too. I'll come up with something, maybe one of the items from the show tonight. If you see something you like that's, worth $20 or less, we'll go ahead and make that our second place prize. We'll let you pick at the end of the show. If you win first place and you would rather have an item instead of our care package of goodies, then we can do that for you as well. So every $5 is going to get you one entry tonight. Let me close this because that is juicing the computer hard. That's why that didn't work earlier, but we'll get that pulled up here in a second. So Oh, I gotta make sure I'm not missing any notification. Now, if you guys have any questions about any of the stories that we talked about tonight, please let me know. We got a $20 donation from Daniel Warner as well. Thank you so much for that. Let's get you some entries into the competition as well. Let me put you down 4 times. You guys are awesome. It's a great typing practice too. There we go. We got you 4 entries into that. Thank you so much, guys. So, like I said, and I do appreciate it. I want to make sure I say that. I don't want you to think it's just kind of off the cuff thing. Every buck really does help, and we are getting a lot closer than I thought. And I'll have the updated list. Are we frozen? What's going on? Let me make sure. No, I don't think we're frozen. I think that might just be you. You may need to refresh. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Pam is asking me to check my DMs. Oh, okay. Is that the, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Apparently one of the payments earlier was for an item. That was something that I sent out to a patron. So we're going to make sure, because I want to make sure that everyone who is entered is a valid entry into the contest, and that it's fair for everyone. Oh, guys, I just sold one of the items that I showed on the show about a month ago. And this is one of the items that I said, hey, I'm going to set the pace on this item. And I know you, remember I said this, I said, you can find cheaper ones of this item online. You can find different styles. But this particular style, this variation, this artwork, I know I can get more money for. And that is the Vacuum Rapid Chiller, Wine Chiller with this design on it. Okay, so I got $20 for that. That was an item that I think I paid about $1.50 for, maybe $2 for. Really nice piece, really good sale. Pam, you're gonna have to respond to my comment so I know what you're talking about. Okay, guys. So, like I said, a week ago, was it? I think 2 weeks ago, we did our estate sale clear out. Me and Susan got together and made that happen. Now, Susan, who's a rock star, came up to Fresno on Wednesday. And if you didn't watch the video, me and her did a private stream on the Patron Lounge page, which is our second Facebook page. It's behind the scene page for our patrons where you get extra video content. And we did a 2 or 3 hour stream where we went through as many boxes as we possibly could. And we pulled together a ton of items. Then after the stream was over, we went ahead and loaded up my car as well. And this was all here in Bakersfield. Then after that was done, the next day, we took a whole load of items from my house out to Fresno. And I went ahead and stayed there for 2 days. Thank you again, Susan, for offering me accommodations out there. And I stayed there for 2 days and we processed a whole nother load of items. We still have bins in the backyard that we have not processed yet. And I felt it important to bring all of the items here, just like with any other items I have, and show them to you so you can see the goodies that we fished up, because we found some good stuff. So I brought in some of the items that we found over in Fresno, and then I have another bin of items that we found while we were here in Bakersfield. Not to mention, I still have items from previous weeks. So we're going to go a little bit fast. We're going to kind of churn through this, so that way everyone can see everything that we do have here. Pam, you have to respond to my message, please. Okay, so let's take a look at some stuff. And I'm going to make a mess everywhere, but we got a lot to look at, guys. So, have you guys seen these before? I was a little bit surprised by these. And this is what I tell people. Because I was working with a guy in a storage unit, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. One of my deals fell through, unfortunately. But, it's important to go through and take a look at everything. These are World of Snoopy, World of Wonder brand, or World of Wonders by Ideal. And these are books that have audio cassettes that go along with them. And we have the cassettes separately. And you can see the cassettes here. And what's really great about these is when you lot them out, I've even seen completed lots for these items, is you get about $10 a piece for them, even as a lot. So we have 10 of them here in total with 10 matching cassettes. We're looking at about a $100 bill on these. And this is one of those items that when I saw it at the yard sale, I walked right on by it. Didn't care, didn't even think anything of it, didn't think it was a big deal. Now, if you find one, I would probably pass on it. But if you find a bunch of them, like this, if you find a lot of 10, pair them up, double check your comps, and get them sold. It's good money. Sorry, guys, I got to check this message. Pam, that doesn't help me any. Okay, I need to know the names that we're removing from the list. I'm over here spilling coffee on myself. So let's take a look at our next item. This was cool. This is something that I wanted to pick up. This is a really nice, highly made manual regarding how to be a groom. It's also kind of a guide on how to be an absolute gentleman as well. That's a keeper for me. Something that I've seen before that I've kind of wanted to flip through. Same with this one as well. Itty Bitty Guide to Business Travel. This is something. Brandy, what was the name that you used for your payment? And then you should probably send me a DM after the show just to make sure we have the finalized amount correct as well. Look at this book, guys. Okay. Now, I'm not saying look at it for the context, but this is a potty training book. Now, when you scan this into Amazon, the price is absolutely absurd on this. It's upwards of $100+. And if you go on eBay and look for one right now, you will not find an active one. But if you look at the completed, and this is as of the other day, the last one of these sold for about $35. It's a little bit crazy. This is a highly desirable book. And this is why I spent close to an hour scanning through well over 100 books, because I found the other books and I found this book. And it's important. Regardless of how much money you're making with other items, be meticulous. Take your time and go through stuff. Please don't pick me. I have no clue what you guys are talking about right now. I'm going to keep showing items. We got a bunch of packs of playing cards. I kept these because I've never had black back bicycle cards before, and these have a really nice finish on them. So I got those for me. This is so cute, guys. I've never seen one of these before. This is a little Simba backpack, and it's old too. It's really old. It's probably got to be early 80s. It has the original Disneyland paper tag on it, or excuse me, not paper, fabric tag. Really nice tag. And I like the fact that there's attention to detail and extra embellishment on this piece. Look at these little paws here on the back of the thighs. You do not see this on modern Lion King stuff. Great piece. Probably worth at least $20, maybe even more. Depends on where the comps are going to be at on it, but I've never seen one of those before, ever. So I could see that being a real easy item to flip a profit on as well. And let me see if see that Streamlabs isn't even updating, so we're going to have to find a way to update the donation total. I don't know if there's a way to do it. Alerts. Yeah, I'm trying to get it all updated because I don't want to have the wrong total up there. I apologize for that, guys. We may have to figure it out after the show, but we'll get it all sorted out. Lion King came out in 1994. Oh, well, new news to me. A lot of the other stuff that we got was from the early 80s, so I just kind of assumed it was of that era. We got a couple of really great puzzles here. The other puzzles that I picked from this location were all complete. I did count them out. They were smaller, like 60, 70 piece puzzles, so it wasn't that bad. I've never seen a DuckTales puzzle before. Gonna be a few bucks there as well. If I need to, I'll sell them as a pair. Got some interesting stuffed animals. I believe these are Barbie stuffed animals. They do have Mattel tags on them, and they're semi-rigid. I would be a little bit surprised if Barbie couldn't sit on top of these things, but I've never seen Mattel stuffed animals before, and this is essentially Barbie hair hanging off the tail here. The same with this one as well. And I want to be clear too, the items that I'm showing right now, the reason why I don't have much robust information regarding pricing is because we got all of this stuff for free. So when I'm showing you the stuff, I'm basically showing you either some stuff that I've either looked up or items that if I was out in the field, I would stop and look up before I would make a purchase. These are items that pretty much set off my radar of things that I would believe to be worth money. That's cool. I know DuckTales was semi-relevant about 2 years back when we had or not even 2 years, probably 4 years back when the DuckTales Remastered came out. Check this out. I had to pry this out of Susan's hands because I think she was just going to keep this. We have a Wizard of Oz lunch pail, and on the interior, we also have the matching Wizard of Oz thermos. Very, very cool. Now, the exterior has a little bit of sun fading on it, but this thing looks darn near new. This was 1989 that this piece came out. And then we also, if you guys have been following along, we have a Corvette mirror. And this goes to the Barbie Corvette. This is one of the many pieces that we have found randomly strewn about. This is an Aladdin set. Almost all of your old lunch boxes are going to be Aladdin. If I had to take a guess, I'm going to say between $20 to $30. Every now and then you'll come across one that's just a bit of an anomaly. It might be something that has a little bit more of a cult following to it. You might find, what is it? It's not Beastmaster. I know Voltron ones can do well. Darkwing Duck can do good. You know, anything that has that early, or early 90s cartoon, late 80s cartoon vibe to it. He-Man, those ones can do good too. And yes, I did have to twist your wrist. Now, when I was out with Susan, we also found this. We had to do a little bit of a deal. I was looking at my phone, and she beat me to the punch. This is what I get for being on Tinder while I was out of town. But she located this, and then we did a bartering deal on it. This is a Starbucks mug. This is only the second time we've ever had a Starbucks mug on the show. This one is Athens. Now, the good thing about this is, one, it's a Starbucks mug, which is, it's always good. And the price was only $2 on this. So I'm really, really thrilled with that. But it's in good condition. But the bad thing with this is the velocity is really, really slow. There's not a lot of people buying this Athens mug. I'll be lucky if I get $30 for this. It's okay. When it sells, and I'll take my money. I might price it where I would like to get it and then let it sit. And then I also have, I believe, a Chicago one. And I think it's one of the most worthless Starbucks mugs out there. I may put the two together because this is already over £1. And then, see if I can squeeze that value out of it as well, doing it that direction. Give me 1 second, guys. Got to check these messages. With all due respect, Pam, I'm being asked to remove certain names from the list just because there was confusion regarding some of the payments. If I don't know what the PayPal name is, or if I don't know what the name is on my list, I don't know who to remove. So if people are paying with different aliases, I'll show you where the list is at right now, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, we have Holly at the top. We got Holly, Donna, Future Fortunes, Cheesehead, Trilab, and Daniel. So if there's names that need to be removed, I need to know which names out of those names we need to remove from the list, or we're going to run the list as it sits. So just so we're on the same page on that. Let's take a look at a few more items, or actually a lot more items. Now, this is one of those items that Susan told me that she was surprised that I would be interested in taking, and that she felt might not be worth money. And I told her, I'm like, I think I have a market for this. I think there's people out there who would be happy to buy this item. And the item is this Scoutmaster hat, okay, for the Girl Scouts. And every one of these trinkets is an item that's attached by safety pin that has a piece of paper talking about what troop it came from, who gave it to her, and everything. So this is something that the scout leader may have had, and got all these really nice decorations probably on her way out the door. I believe I can sell this and I can get some decent bucks. Possibly be able to get some bucks from a museum or some type of collectible organization who is big into these types of things. This is one of those things that I could see some people tossing in a trash can or putting out at a yard sale. I think I'm going to get a lot of money for this. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot comparative to tossing it out. We're talking maybe 40, possibly 50. If it's something that I run at an auction and it gets a little bit of interest, it could be more. But each one of these is so unique, and it could be very special to somebody who's deep into the culture. She also found a whole bunch of other Girl Scout stuff, and as we get everything put together, because there were so many things strewn in different boxes, as we get put together, it may be an item that goes back with that collection if there's some type of tie between the two, or if there's some extra provenance that can be gathered from the original stuff. Mindy's saying, sell it on Etsy. Well, I will, as long as I don't have to offer free shipping, right? Right? Let's see what else we got. We got another one of those books. I guess I missed it a moment ago. I don't remember what this is. This was some assortment of miniatures of some variety. I just remember this guy looking so incredibly creepy. And that I think they're like dollhouse pieces. And I'd never seen anything that was just this odd and just this weird before. So I went ahead and took this whole bag. And this is something that I'm going to look up and get a little more reference information. If I had to take a guess, I believe this is just straight from Hong Kong. Or straight from China from the 90s. It may have been specifically made for the American market. Not positive, but that's just based on the discussions that I had with the lady who was selling this stuff originally. Who told me about her travels and where she went and everything like that. Okay, I have these books here. These are more of those audio cassette books, but I don't have the tapes that go with them. So I went ahead and snagged these for now in hopes that we do find the tapes, and then one more of those. And I know some of these items might seem particularly boring. You know, it's money. We got to make that money somehow. If you don't make that money, someone else will. But we do have some interesting stuff coming up. I promise you. This is just kind of the essentials. You know, hopefully it'll give you some guidance as far as what you might go after if you're out there for the first time, just doing a little bit of picking. I think those are for Talking Toy, the books and cassettes. Yes, they made one. I know the Big Bird one exists, and I can only assume that there's a Snoopy one that exists based on the books that I found. Okay, I'm just going to kind of rapid fire some items right now. We have this Orbit water timer, some variety, for outdoor use only. Cool. I picked up this cable for Daniel. He's going to need that. Can anyone identify this for me? We have these two dogs here, and I have more of them in the other room. I have no clue where they're from. They don't have brand markings on the bottom, but they look like something that somebody should know, honestly. And then out of that bin, we also got this, which is 50 feet worth of sprinkler wire, and this is worth roughly $22 on Amazon, so this was a no-brainer pickup because this would have gone out to a yard sale for $1 or $2, and we can't have that. And then a virtually unplayed vintage set of Giant Fish card games. This is by Whitman. Yeah, it's by Whitman. I didn't look up the comps. If I was a gambling man, $15 to $20 just based on the condition. That's just one of the bins. I just bruised up my knee, resting that on my knee. And then here's another one of the dogs. I don't know if this is from the same set, but it looks similar. This one says Disney, so I'm not going to say for sure because the other two weren't branded Disney, so I'm not even positive on that one. Give me 1 second, guys. Pam, I'm going to check my DMs one more time for you. Okay, so we are removing TriLab. And if there's any other adjustments that need to be done, let me know, and we'll do those. Okay, there we go. Let's pull over the next bin. Guys, I'm very pleased about this one right here. This is something that I generally don't find, especially in this quantity. Look at this. We have a whole box, I believe these are melamine, of different Disney and children's cups, plates, bowls, and silverware. I have never, ever found the silverware, let alone matching silverware to the sets that I have. So the Little Mermaid ones are fantastic because there's certain artwork that they just don't use anymore. And we're going to look at a Little Mermaid item here in a bit that's worth quite a few bucks that has art assets that I've never seen used before. And then even this bowl is one of the types of art assets that I'm talking about. I've never seen this image used anywhere else other than this bowl. And I think it partly has to do with the climate that we're in right now. They really won't ever print something like this again. You're never going to see this type of posture again get printed on a bowl. I don't even think they would go as far as printing something like that again. And like I said, it's just because of the climate right now that we're in. This is a great one. And usually when you find these are just completely destroyed from dishwasher usage. A lot of these look like they were hand washed, which is great. We also have this dinosaur set, which, I mean, these are the derpiest looking meme-worthy dinosaurs that I think I've ever seen, and it's such a cute set as well. I think that somebody's really going to enjoy having these. I'm going to do a little bit of digging, see if I can find some additional information on them, and then check this one out. Oh, and we also have the matching spoon for that dinosaur set. Miguel Godinez, did you add the We Game Profit to the counter? I thought that was for my dinner, but I will add it. We have to add that. And then we have to add any of the PayPal donations to the rolling ticker, and I will get that updated. The problem was I didn't launch Stream Labs, Stream Labels before I started the stream. The computer was getting a little bit churny, but mark my word, I will get those totals updated. I've kind of been slacking off on it because the donation totals have been a little bit weak as of the last few weeks. I really felt like we weren't going to make it to eBay Open, but we're getting closer. And when I say make it, I mean be able to cover all of our expenses. So I've already spent over $1,000 on equipment just to be able to make this happen. We have about another $500 worth of equipment we need, and then about $1,000 worth of just pure expenses. And expenses includes the hotel, the eBay Open ticket. That's about, between the two, that's about $1,000 right there, maybe even more. And then food budget, and then travel budget, which is the gas to get there and back. It's going to be 6 hours each direction, which is quite a bit of gas, especially here in California. So we're definitely behind the ball right now as far as where we should be. Check out this beautiful set, though, and thank you for the $2 super chat. I do appreciate it. Check out this set, Beauty and the Beast, right? Don't hate me if I'm wrong. I believe it's Belle. We have this, and then what's really, really crazy is we have the matching spoon and fork. Have you guys ever seen these? I've never seen the matching pair that goes along with it. And while I was digging just now inside of this box, I just noticed we have the matching fork for the Little Mermaid set, which I've never seen before. I have to get off camera because it doesn't want to focus on anything other than me. Here, we'll hold it back here. There we go. Yeah, it's a great set. Absolutely great set. And then the last set that we have in here, forgive the copious noise, is we have a 101 Dalmatians set of with the really cute matching silverware. I had to pry this out of Susan's hands as well. Really cute silverware. And then the matching cup and bowl. So those of you who are asking or curious the value on these, this whole box, I mean, I might be able to get $80 to $100 for about everything that's here. I know that seems a touch high, but condition is king, and a lot of these pieces are some of the best condition ones that I've ever seen. Are they flawless? No. But they're really, really nice given the age and given the type of item that we're talking about. We're literally talking about plastic with a thin layer of paint that was used with metal utensils. And the fact that they exist in the condition they're in is a little bit wild. So give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to sanitize real quick while I read these comments. Yes, they all come in sets. I believe that, yeah, that is true. When they first came out, yes. In the wild, no. Not many of these people have dishes that survived. People's plates would get cracked. And stuff getting stuck in pans. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. 100%. Very Hungry Caterpillar. The reason I kept this is because it was a first edition printing. And I went ahead and took that extra time to see if it was a first edition printing. I obviously didn't do it with every single book. This doesn't dictate much of the value. It doesn't really seem like people are going after it, but I've noticed that the pricing seems a bit more aggressive. People are asking $50 on these first edition ones. I'm probably going to list mine for $25 to $30. If nobody bites on it by the end of the year, I'll probably roll it down to $15 just to blitz it out rather than having to donate it out. And if still nobody takes it, I'm just going to delist it come January. It's one of those things that I'm going to try short-term play on it. If I get premium dollar, which I consider to be 30 or 35, great. If not, no hard feelings on it. Another book I can make $6 on. It's going to Amazon. Nothing to learn there. I got these really cute teddy bears, and the reason I did was because of the brand name on them. Now, I don't know if there's any relation to the brand that I'm thinking of when I look at this, but the font looks similar, and it's of the right period. The brand is Commodore, okay? And when I think of Commodore, I think of the computer company Commodore. They made the nice little green screen machines back in the day. So, I don't know enough about these to let them go. So I decided to go ahead and pick them up, and I'll do further research on them. It'll probably be one of those stupid items that I'll post a screenshot within our group and be like, look how much this sold for. Like that hat. Do you guys remember that hat from a week ago with the wings on the side of it? It sold for $50, which is crazy. But yeah, expect to see these showing up on your timeline for no good reason with an absurd amount of money behind them. We got more plates. I didn't see this one. This one's a beauty. Obviously goes with the other set. And then we got some, again, different dinosaurs, just as derpy as the first set of dinosaurs. Look at that. I think I could draw those in MS Paint and have them come out just as good. I don't even know what's wrong with that red one's front leg. Look at that bad boy. No sense of perspective whatsoever. But, that's the early 90s for you. Hey, you guys want to see the cutest cat plush I think I've ever seen in my entire life? And I've seen a lot of cat plush, okay? I know somebody out there is going to want this one. I'll sell it to you, but you got to be quick on it, okay? Look at this cutie. Yeah, it's even got a little dark spot on its tail too. This is probably the closest, close to life kitten that I've ever seen. It's by, who's it by? It says Russ, but it also has an extra patch on its center. Yoshiko? I can't even read that. Yeah, but it also says Russ on it. You think it's creepy? I think it's cute. I know some people don't like things that are close to real life in its look, but I think this is a great looking piece. I think it's super adorable. I'm going to get some bucks for this. Don't know how much, but I'll get some bucks for it. And then we have this doggo. This is another one of those items I just went ahead and pulled. We didn't do any research on it. Just felt like it might be worth some bucks. It's going to need a little bit of cleaning, obviously. His name is Wrinkles. I may have looked him up. I can't remember. Any of the stuff that turns out to be duds is just going to get sent right on back to the yard sales. This is by Gans Bros, Ganzbros. It's probably a pre-name for the company Gans that we know now. They probably dropped that Bros at some point in time. We picked up some clothing too. Now, Susan went through a lot of the stuff, and she kept a lot of it because it was going to be great for her, and there was a few select pieces that I felt needed to go online. And I don't deal in clothing or textiles all too often, but when they're free and I have a chance to make money on them, my eyes go ahead and open up, and I'm willing to look at things that I normally wouldn't look at, including this really nice wolf shirt. Or wild, what does it say, canines? Yeah, wild canines. And I just feel somebody's going to buy this. Somebody's going to look at this and say, yes, this is a shirt that I want for my child. This is a small, probably a children's medium. Let me see. Children's small, 6 through 8, which would probably be a children's extra small in nowadays sizing. I'm going to get probably $20 for that shirt, unless for some reason there's comps out there. But I think that one speaks for itself. Really good art, really specific to the period. This is probably the cutest darn raincoat I have ever seen in my entire life. And I was telling Susan that I think I could get anywhere between $50 to maybe as high as $100+. Maybe even more than that. Honest to God. It's not often where I see a jacket and I say, yes, that's a jacket that I want to sell. That's a piece that I want to work with. Look at this raincoat. We got the bear on one side doing his painting. We got the paint bucket over here. It says wet paint on top. And then if we flip it around, we got the two bears on scaffolding, and it says wet paint on the back. And it's just got this really great coloring and styling to it. It's red on the interior. We got the red tassels with the matching clips over here. The brand on this even has nice branding. It says gear on the back. I was not able to find a comp for this piece, okay? But have you ever seen a raincoat that was so darn cute as this one? And I know she wanted to keep it. And I'm going to try, I'm going to try and get max value out of it. If I don't, it's obviously going to go back to her, but I think I'm going to get a lot of money for it. I could see some parent just pulling this up, probably spending some money on Promoted, because why not? Just to get a great traction, maybe even listed as high as, $150, really presented as a designer piece, maybe even get it pressed somehow to get the wrinkles out of it so it displays really nicely. And I know you still want it, Susan. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's a great piece. It's an absolutely great piece. And then we got this dress, and I generally don't work with dresses, but I felt this one had enough personality to it that it was something that I could sell myself. It's almost looks as if though it's a costume piece, but I know it's not. It has a nice little tie-back sash on the back, good embellishment. It's kind of like a velour or almost like a nubuck finish along the edges and on the ends of the sleeves. The brand on this is Anne Savoy, and this is marked as a small, super cute piece though. I can't see a reason I can't get $20, maybe up to $40 for something like this. Again, maybe get it pressed out, make it look the part again, get it listed up online. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to check my DMs again just to make sure that everything's running okay on the back end. Mindy sending me those comps. I appreciate it. Give me 1 second, guys. You know what's really dumb? I don't know if I told you guys about this or not, but my PayPal account is broken. I cannot use my PIN to log in. And you would say to yourself, well, that's just an easy fix. Give them a call. My account is permanently broken. I don't think I will ever be able to use my PIN again. And the option isn't even on my account to be able to add it. And the tech team cannot sort it out. And it's even gotten escalated to the highest level of tech, and they still can't figure it out. So we have a $20 donation from Golden Enterprises. I have no clue who you are. Thank you to you. And he says, Mr. Bolorama, or for Mr. Bolorama, have fun for us in Vegas. I'll be frank with you. Everyone keeps telling me, and let me add you to our rotation. We're gonna put you in as Golden Ent. Everyone's telling me to have fun and to go enjoy myself and just relax out there. I hate to say it, I don't think I'm gonna have any fun. I mean, I'm gonna live the experience, but I'm really going for you guys. I'm really going to gather up all the news, shoot a ton of good footage, talk with people. Oh, Mindy, thank you, Mindy, for that. I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm really going simply to make sure that I can bring you all the best news possible. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a grind. So yeah, we'll get it figured out. And I'll try to have fun. And I'm looking into what it would take to be able to possibly get there a day earlier. And I'm even looking at the option of staying a day later. There's a lot of things I would love to do while I'm out in Vegas, and I don't want to be too overly consumed with eBay Open while I'm there. But I'm going to try and have a good time, but there's just a lot of work to get done. And Mindy says, and find a woman. I don't know. You know, it's somewhat on the back burner. If the right one comes along, great, but I don't know. Maybe I'll get some promotional materials her way and something will come of that, but who knows at this point anymore. But thank you so much to you, Mindy. Here, we'll even shoot some confetti for you as well. I do appreciate that. You know I appreciate everything that you do. And honestly, God, patrons, don't feel like you have to, kick into the pot. You guys are already helping so much just with the day-to-day operations of what we're doing here. Here's some interesting ones. Items that Susan maced me with this. She decided to pop this open in front of me. We have Crabtree and Evelyn London Tom Kitten baby powder. People are buying this, and I believe they're buying it for contents as well. I've noticed some people saying, oh, it's half full, 3/4 full, which is weird. And then Beatrix Potter talcum powder. This is from Taylor of London. Again, people buying this for content. This is a very, very hard one to find. This one is also hard to find. I believe this one fetches anywhere between $20 to $40 based on the completeness of it or fullness of it as well. So keep your eyes open for it. Don't pay for one, though. Yeah, you know, I've seen ones where I would, but I don't think I don't think that Vegas would be the place to be paying for those things. And I have a son. He's shares. My ex-spouse always said you have to pay for it one way or another. Whoa, Pat! Shots fired. Man, oh man, oh. Yeah, I guess the real question is you know, how much are you willing to invest? And the thing is, do you look at it like a business investment? You say, you know, I want to make sure I get a good return on my investment, or you know, do you know, maybe even run like a mental spreadsheet and keep a running tally on how far invested you are? Do you ever look at it and say, well, you know, it was cheaper than the alternative? You know, I don't know. Let's move on. Now, Pam has already made stake to these items. We haven't taken the time to look them up or do some additional research on them, but they're interesting. They're very interesting. We're starting to get into some of the better stuff now. We have this very, very cute, small trinket bag. Sorry, guys, waiting for the focus here. By Forenza? It's a little trinket pouch, and it opens up. I don't know if this pink cord is intended to be there or not. Let me see. Okay, it is. It operates as the binding piece. It doesn't look like it was original to the piece. It may be a replaced one. It's hard to say. I'm going to have to do some research on it, but it's a very, very cool trinket bag that opens all the way wide open. Cool piece. Not sure what it's worth. Definitely worth picking up. I am single because I live in California, Susan. Did you know they did a survey and they found that Fresno is the hardest place to get a date in all of America? And then they even have a dating site where millionaires can go on there and sign up. And they did a tally and they found that Fresno was the town that women were least willing to travel to meet a millionaire out of all of America as well. So I think a little bit has to be said regarding the market that I'm in, not just, you know, me and my mentality as a person. Okay? Yeah, and the small one, yes, it's most likely a jewelry bag. Now, here's one of the really, really, really interesting pieces we found. Now, like I said, we cleared out this estate, okay, and I just really want to give the explanation behind it. We cleared out this estate. We were told to take everything. And when the people brought their stuff out, I don't feel that they did all of the effort necessary to make sure that they understood what they were bringing out. And in turn, we ended up with some items that are worth more than they may have realized. And this item, this bag, contains 3 pieces of jade, and it is real jade, and I've handled a lot of jade in my life. I just recently sent some out to my mother, believe it or not. And this is a jade bracelet, probably comprised of about 20 beads on there, as well as an end bead as well. It's cool to the touch, cool and smooth. There is a lot of artificial jade out there, but this is authentic jade that most likely came from the same time period as when she was traveling out there. It has somewhat of a coarse finish on the interior. Let me get this zoomed up. But it's a really, really nice, it keeps detracting to my face. But as you can see, there's a lot of depth in the color there. It's an absolutely beautiful piece. And then we also have this last one, which is, again, very much so in the traditional stylings of early 90s, late 80s style jade. And it's just a single drop pendant piece. Great, great, great stuff. Pat says, guys have to have $1 million, mansion, fancy cars, take the whole table. Yeah. You know, there's a video that I watched once, Pat, and I was in absolute stitches when it was some comedian. He was talking about, you know, like everything that a guy needs to bring to the table, and you know, the dichotomy between males and females. You know, there's one thing that I've been doing as of recent when I start communicating with somebody, and it is if they are a person of no substance, I write them off so quick now. You know, because I used to boil it down to more like, oh, this is a nice person, or this is somebody that's fun to talk to. But there's some people that they don't have hobbies. They don't go out and do things with people. They're not outdoorsy people. They have truly no substance to them whatsoever. And then they will sit back and they'll, like, the only thing they have to talk about is like their ex-boyfriends and celebrities, and they'll talk back on their ex-boyfriends and say this, that, and the other. And then I look at them, I'm like, well, what were you doing to make the relationship a good one? Like, what were you bringing to the table? You know, I don't know. We'll save it for a late night Vegas stream where I think if I have a glass of Jack and Coke in my hands, nobody will be upset at the things that I say, right? We'll do it that way, okay? Can we get a little excited about some jade? Come on now, guys. I might be able to get $100 for that jade. We got a Fisher Price. We got one of those cars. It rolls back and forth on the track. My brother had one when I was growing up. We got some of the little Peebles that go inside of there too. I don't know what their names are. It felt like a decent enough lot to pick up, so I did. We got some vintage denim. This doesn't happen often. These are kids' jeans. I really like the fact that it says Guess right there on the front. I've never seen front tagging underneath of the button. And then it also has the branding on the back side, which is something that I don't see all too often either. But overall, pretty clean condition. Again, styles reminiscent of the early 90s, late 80s, like most of the other stuff that we've seen. This was a popular style then. I think I'll be able to sell those and make a few bucks. Again, with most things, a lot of these things have a little bit of a stain, and then, it takes a little bit of work to get it out. So, next up we have this really big Garfield flag. I'm going to get $20 for it. I'm not going to talk on it more. It's a period piece. It's nice. It's in clean condition. We got this shirt. I don't even remember what's on it. Let's find out together. It says, "Greetings from Camp Beverly Hills." Very, very cool piece. Very cool piece. I don't know if that was a specific branding or if that was actually a thing that existed. Not a clue. I just love the art styling of this. I love the vintage feel of this. I could see some Instagram personality spending stupid amounts of money on something like this. I can really, really see it happening. I will keep you all posted on this to see what happens with it. And, if somebody messages me and says, "Jay, I found one online for $12, don't get that excited," I'll tell you, my keywords will crush it on this, okay? You have the matching shorts for this, Susan? Okay, you hang on to those shorts because I want those shorts. Yeah, this is a heck of a shirt. So, yeah, so 80s. Much 80s. Let's see. So like I said, I had one more Disney item, one more Little Mermaid item that had a design that I don't feel we'll ever see printed again. Like I said, original assets. And it's such a cute bag, guys. Check this out. This is a Little Mermaid bag. I just realized we have the side clutch piece that goes along with it. It says cut along the dotted line to open. So there was some type of extra item that came with this that we don't have currently. But look at the design on this. This is, like I said, a design you're not going to see printed again. And then you also have actual beach sand in a side compartment in the bottom of the bag. It actually flows back and forth. Now, the cheapest one of these online is listed at $100, which I know seems a little bit aggressive, but I think I'm going to get at least $50, $60 for it. I think that that's the price where this item should be. Me and Susan talked about it on air as well. Some people were saying, well, why not? Mindy said this. She said, why not just go a penny under? I don't really want to miss out on the potential buyer for this. And I do feel that $60, maybe even $75 may be the max value that I believe somebody would pay. Does that mean that somebody won't buy that $100 one? No. Okay, but I feel that for my time and the amount of time I'm willing to hold this, I think that that's priced correctly for this. So this, again, is another one of those items that you can just kind of stumble across at a yard sale sometime and make some really good movies coming out. And yes, Adam, very, very valid point. With the new movie coming out, the old stuff might do well. Hopefully it doesn't get... Hopefully it doesn't get branded as anything other than what it actually is. I hope people will just enjoy the vintage stuff the same way that they might enjoy the new stuff. But, we've kind of seen this historically where newer items in existing IPs that go in a different direction than their previous counterparts don't do as well. So what I'm referring to is stuff like Ghostbusters. The new Ghostbusters, they cranked out an absolute ton of merch because who are big buyers of collectible goods? Ghostbuster fans. That's just what they do. But if we look at, the Pops and we look at other collectibles, when movie companies take on projects of existing brands and they work them in such a radical new direction, and I think you know what I'm talking about, new products have a tendency not to do as well. And with something like this, with the way that this one's being done, it might cast a potential negative light on the older stuff if people attribute it to being something other than just fandom for the original movie. And I hope you know what I'm talking about. I can't really express it too much better. I can't hear music. We have no music playing right now, Mindy, so I guess that is a good thing. Let's take a look at some more items. There's a spider running around my inventory bin that I have right now to my side. I picked up this nice pink keychain. Pink, the brand, the partner brand of Victoria's Secret. It was inside of one of the bins. I'll get a few bucks on that for sure. Susan found this Captain Morgan spiced rum keychain. I'll look this up and see if he's worth some bucks too, but again, it required additional research. This was a nifty piece that'll probably end up getting donated to a local something or another. I have no clue, but I'm sorry for the focus, guys. My camera here. Let me see if I change something. Let's see if that helps, and that'll all go off screen here in a second. See if it'll focus a little bit faster. It really doesn't want to. Here, let me see if I... Nope, that's not helping much. Here, let me try the other one again. Let's try presenting it like this. We usually don't have this many tiny items. There we go. It's a dog tax tag from 1958. Very, very cool piece. And it's just real thin. It's a little bit of pewter. You know, there might be somebody who wants that, or a local congregation that might enjoy having it as well. Not a good thing for gull print. I have no clue what you mean. We have this Dorothy doll. Don't know anything about it. Can't really help you learn anything there. You'll see it posted to the group eventually. A pink Motorola Razr phone. If this isn't worth anything online, this is definitely going to get used as a prop for one of the videos that I plan to shoot while I'm at eBay Open. I meant at the very beginning. I am sorry, Gull. I still don't know what you mean. You better stop music completely or make it 75%. Very annoying and disturbing. Oh, okay. So you must be... I don't know if you're really far back in the show or what, but yeah, you know, our intro music is what it is. Feel free to mute it as we go along. If you're hearing music right now, then there's something grossly wrong with the production on your end. But there is no music playing through our end right now. So you may want to make sure you don't have something playing in the background. That's all I can really say. Yeah. But yeah, we got this pink Razr phone. And then while we were there, we also got this one. This pink iPod. I don't know which generation this is. I know some of these older iPods can fetch some big, big bucks. But again, because it was free, went ahead and threw it in the box as well. I'll keep you up to date on that and what it's worth and everything like that too. I've got 2 more bins of items and 8 minutes to show them to you. We'll see what we can get through. If we can't get through all of it, I'm going to sandbag some of it till next weekend. We may or may not do a show next weekend. I'll explain why in a second. So like I said, I rarely deal in textiles, but we have this comforter, and I especially don't deal in comforters. And this one is, again, a Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter, whatever, comforter. And then I also have the matching crib sheet that goes along with it. At least I believe it's the matching crib sheet. Yeah, it is the matching crib sheet that goes along with it. And it has the official tag on it too. Now, they had the entire set, but a lot of the pieces were in really, really poor condition, so I ended up simply passing on them. Even at free, I didn't feel like they were going to be worth the time or effort to actually get sold. They look purple. They're like a hot pink, or what was considered hot pink in the... when did that come out? The Razr came out in 2005? 6, 7, 7? 2007, I believe. Okay, guys, so now we're back at the stuff that I actually picked up for myself during the first walkthrough, not during the after the estate clear out. Oh my god, I thought there was a bug on there. I almost freaked out for a second. It's just some little fur flipping around. It says, make the earth bearable. This is such a cute bear. Really, really fluffy, really, really old. Don't know anything about him, but again, new with tags of the period. He's going to get looked up. It's good to see. So next up, I have a set of items. We have 3 smalls, and there's fur going everywhere right now. If you have an aversion to clowns, feel free to look away now. But we have 3 of these Annalee Mobility, spelled Mobilitee, Annalee Mobility doll from Meredith, New Hampshire. And we have 3 of these small ones. And I talked with my buddy Howard, and he told me that these little dolls are worth about $25 each. And what's really crazy is they have their original tags with them as well. Okay? And then along with those, I have the large one with the original tag as well. And these are not puppets. Great question. Yeah, not puppets at all. But yeah, he told me that this one is worth upwards of $100 with the tag. Now, I haven't done my own independent research. This was just a clutch buy randomly. I decided to go ahead and get. And Susan says she thinks she has one. Yeah, I would definitely like all of them if you have any more of them, please. So that way I can get them all listed up together. But original tags, vintage toy, great condition given the age. I hope to make good money on these too. Susan, I have an item here I forgot to give you. I picked this up for you, and I forgot to hand it to you. It is a Mickey Mouse pinwheel. It has a whole bunch of minis on it, and it works great too. Let me see if I can. It's a great little piece. So that's for you next time I see you. We got a couple more plush. This one is Popples. Not a clue about this one either. Has the original hood. This is just blowing dust and debris everywhere. Looks like it has some type of interior body that pops out. Looks similar to one of the other plushes that I had the other day. I'll get, like I said, a lot of these things. See, Brandy knows what this is. I don't have a darn clue what this thing is. Here, I'll even popple it for you. Oh, there's something in here. Is that his tail? Ugh. It poppled all over the place. Flip it inside out. A girl's toy for sure. Well, there we go. It's a popple, everyone. Obviously, a popple. Hey, did you guys think that clown was kind of creepy? Yeah? Check out this guy. Super creepy. Some type of frog. I don't know if this is like Freddy the Frog. I know I listed him the other day, the puppet. This is by Eden Toys. It was made in Haiti. Wow. Interesting one. I don't know if this has any relation to that frog that rides a unicycle. Is it a toad? Yeah, I'm going to have to do some serious research on this. But again, it was there and I felt it was a good buy. And then this one's super cute. Let me see if I can get any information before it. There's just crap going everywhere, guys. Like fur bits. I'm going to blame Susan again. Check out this guy. He is super cute. He's got leather loafers on. He's got a golf cap on his head. Wearing a little a dapper jacket as well. I think it's a squirrel or a mouse. Probably a mouse. Yeah, super cute. Super fluffy. One of the softer ones of the bunch. Swanky is right. Yes. Future Fortune says Wind in the Willows. I'll definitely follow up on that too. Mr. Toad is what Mindy's saying. This guy's cute. Great piece. So yeah, we got one more bin of other items, which I mean, I've already got so much stuff, I'm not even going to be able to list it in a reasonable amount of time. We'll go ahead and save them for next week. That's all of the estate sale items, so that way we're at least caught up on the estate sale goodies, but we got a bin of swap meet and yard sale items from my last time out there doing that. Okay, guys, this is your last chance to enter our raffle. If you haven't done so yet, a $5 super chat or donation will get you entered. If you do donate to my PayPal, please leave a comment letting me know that you did do that. We're going to do our little tiny kind of wrap-up thing. And before we do that, though, we're going to go ahead and select a raffle winner. If you haven't heard so yet, the total did move a little bit, but not the correct amount. We're actually a little bit closer to probably 1,300 right now of the $3,000 goal that we're looking to reach to. Again, thank you to all the people who did help contribute this evening. If I missed anyone, I don't think I missed anyone. Let me make sure. I don't know. So far we have Golden Entertainment with 4 entries, Daniel Warner with 4 entries, Cheesehead with 2, Future Fortunes with 2, and Donna Lockwood with 20, and Holly Clore with 1. If I missed your name, please tell me now. I don't want to miss you on the raffle, guys. What we're giving away is an awesome prize pack of fantastic goodies to help make you a better seller. You're going to be receiving 2 risers, which are going to help prop your items up. You're going to be receiving a roll of eBay tape. You're going to be receiving 1 label or 1 roll of labels for your printer as well. You're going to be receiving 50 pieces of packaging material, which is going to include 10 size zeros, 10 of the big bubble mailers, 10 8x6x4s, 10 9x6x3s, which fit inside of priority mailers, and 10 6x4x4s, as well as 3 cable clamps, 2 clips for your twill and other material, and then 1 folding standee to help prop your items up. It's a value pack worth over $50, and all you have to do to enter is give us $5 to help us out with our eBay open budget. You can either do it directly through jaysgameshack@yahoo.com, but please leave a comment to let me know that you did so I can verify it, or you can just give us a super chat. All the same, and we'll ship that out to you at no additional cost. Okay? So, guys, let's go ahead and have a word with each other here for a second. Okay, let's have our one-on-one time. Let me also. Oh yeah, you know what I forgot? I forgot to talk about Tiny Bits, which is our little bit of news that we have before we wrap up the show. Okay, the first thing. Did you hear what Twitch is doing? Do you know what Twitch is? A lot of you don't. Okay, Twitch is a streaming service for predominantly video gamers, but there's also what we call IRL streamers or in real life streamers, casual streamers, people who are just talking on air about nothing really except for their day, which I guess is kind of reminiscent to what I do sometimes. But they partnered up with Amazon in a big way. Now, they've already partnered with them in the past by having Amazon tokens, which can be used on your favorite Twitch streamer to be able to help give them an extra $5 per month as part of your Amazon Prime subscription. But during the Amazon Prime event, they're working with premium members on their platform to advertise Prime membership as well as Prime deals. So you will see your favorite content creators showcasing items on air to encourage people to take part in the Amazon Prime event. Absolutely genius idea, because the key median market for Twitch, the average user base is anywhere between the age of about 12 and I would probably say on up to about 26. They are tapping in hard, very hard to the Zoomers and the Gen Zers and the Millennials as a whole, and building value with them early on and teaching them the value of high quality products being presented by not only the brand of Amazon, but being backed by some of their favorite creators. It is a huge, huge opportunity. I guarantee you, Amazon this year will blow the numbers out of the water comparative to last year. And this is the first time I've made this speculation on air. One, we're in an exceptionally strong market. The Dow and the stock market is 5,000 points ahead of where it was just 2 years ago. So the economy is running exceptionally strong right now. A lot of people have expendable income for the first time that have never had it before. And with this revitalization and this impact and this drive to get more youth onto the platform, no doubt in my mind, Amazon numbers are going to be insane this year. Expect upwards of 1 million new accounts and probably, if I'm a gambling man, I'm going to say a 10 to 12% increase over last year's numbers. On top of that, as far as Tiny Bits are concerned, we have eBay shareholder call just 2 days away, and oh boy, I'm excited for this one. I'll tell you why. The numbers are going to be bad. Okay, promoted listings I expect to go up, but I expect total gross volume to be down year over year compared to last year, and I also expect them to be down over Q1 of this year. It's going to be interesting to see what the reasoning is for why the performance is down. I also expect StubHub to go down a little bit, but maybe some vertical movement from eBay Classified as they did a massive expansion coming into the beginning of the year. So it's going to be interesting to see. If you have an interest in me streaming that event, let me know. If not, I won't. And we'll come back with some highlights next week. There's a good chance I'm going to do a light show next week, maybe hour or so, one last fundraiser stab, maybe one more goodie bag giveaway. I don't know. I have no clue. We'll figure it out. But it should be a good time. So that's what's going on with that. If anyone has any questions before we start wrapping up, if anyone would like to give one last donation, by all means, you're welcome to. But if not, we're gonna give you guys 30 seconds, and if not, we're gonna go ahead and roll that randomizer. Like I said, we're gonna do it 3 times, and the person in the number 1 slot is going to be our winner. I'm gonna do one last check for donations just to make sure we didn't miss anyone, because I would hate to. It would break my heart to know that I missed somebody. Let's go ahead and get that pulled up on screen. Like I said, we have everyone's names entered in here. If you do not see your name, now is the time to tell me. We have Holly with 1 entry, Donna Lockwood with 20 entries, Future Fortunes with 2 entries, Cheesehead Treasures with 2 entries, Daniel Warner with 4, and Golden Enterprises with 4 entries as well. Last chance, or save it for next time. Okay, if you're not in this time, we're going to be giving first prize is going to get the wonderful goodie package shipped on out to you. Second prize will get choice of any item that was on the show that we deem to be worth less than $20. Okay, if you do not wish to claim your prize, or if you would like to donate it to another seller or group or organization, you're welcome to do that as well. So guys, it doesn't look like we have anyone else left, so I'm going to show you how this process works. We click on this button down here, and you guys can't see my mouse cursor. My mouse cursor is on top of the word randomize right now. We click it 1 time, and the first list comes up with Donna on top. We're going to scroll down. We're going to do it a second time, and the second time it shows Donna on top. And now obviously she has a lot of entries, so that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. And this third time is going to determine our 1 and 2 winners. Donna, we're only going to let you win. Well, you know, we're going to let you win 1 prize. We're going to pick somebody else for the number 2, who's ever next in line. Good luck to all of you, and thank you so much to everyone who contributed to tonight's little event. If you enjoy it, we'll do it again next week. Roll number 3, congratulations to Daniel Warner and Golden Enterprises. Wow, Daniel sniping it out with the 4 entries competing against 25 plus entries. Congratulations on winning the wonderful prize package. And Mindy clutching in the number 2. And you know what, Donna, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up an extra prize slot just for you, because I feel you should walk away with something. If you saw an item on tonight's show that you like, let me know and we'll go ahead and get that shipped out to you. Please reach out to me after the show. If you don't have me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram. It's going to be at some guy from Fresno. So just go ahead and add me on Instagram and send me a DM after you've added me or followed me. I'll go ahead and see that message and follow up with you as soon as I can after the show. So guys, last week we had a very interesting week as we wrapped up the show. We talked about circle of influence and circle of control, which are things that I'm very, very aware of now more than ever. I've made some poor decisions in my life, and you know what, earlier this month was no exception to that. I kind of jammed my foot in my mouth a little bit too hard. So what did I do this week? I took a little bit of personal time off, and I took a little bit of time for reflection, and it was really, really nice. I spent time with some very, very important people in my life, and I got an opportunity to relax and do some of the things that I enjoyed doing, which includes going out and having great eats, going and playing some video games, and even doing a little bit of rock climbing, which is something that's, it's hard to find joy for here in Bakersfield, but out of town it's not nearly as difficult to do so. But it really got me thinking, okay? I was thinking about the process of everything that I do, and some people look at this process and they think that it's a very, very hard one. And I explained to them that the process of getting it started, sure, it can be hard, and the process of learning can also be a little bit hard. But I feel that one of the things that is the driving force for my success within this industry is my willingness to be exceptionally meticulous in the process of what I do. And by that I mean taking the time to research every single item that I find, especially when the items are presented to me for free. And then also being particular about the quality of work that I put out there. Anyone can run a web ad and tell people that you're buying things, but why not make that web ad look gorgeous? Anyone can create marketing materials for their own brand, but why not take a moment and make it look gorgeous? Anyone can make their own, music for their production, but why not get high quality music? Which is what I did this week. We talked about in the pre-roll. But a lot of the things I do, it boils down to the minutia, the fine details, and the details that go into the process which includes research, which includes quality staging, which includes making sure that my pack and ship station is clear. We've talked before about decluttering, but really making sure that you understand each step in the process is just as important as making sure you start that process. And we've talked about it before. You have to get going on it. What I really wanted to tell everyone this week is to make sure you turn over every single stone. I had a customer that I met at the swap meet almost 3 months ago, and we had talked about a storage unit that he had for sale. And we've gone back and forth on this arrangement for quite a while now, and as of this week, we had spoken to each other, and I was due to go out tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to view and most likely purchase the entire unit. Everything was set in stone, reminder set at 3 o'clock today to tell me about tomorrow, and an alarm set at 8 a.m. for tomorrow morning. He calls me all but 40 minutes before the show starts and says, Jay, you know what? I'm at the unit. I can't sell you the unit. I just can't do it. And the first thought through my head was, he's getting cold feet. He's overly emotionally attached to the inventory. That was the first thing I thought. And I thought to myself, how do I get him off of this edge and help him get back to the place he was at 3 months ago, where he was ready to relinquish this inventory and get the process going. So I remembered what the hot buttons were. The hot buttons are the things that you need to know to be able to close up any sale that you're working with. Each person's hot buttons can be different. If you're selling a house, it might be the pool in the back. Okay? If you're selling somebody a car, it might be the fact that it has rear seat air conditioning for the kids. Once you know the motivation why someone is doing something, you can press that hot button over and over and over and over and over until you get the result that you want. Now, obviously, good deals are done when both people are happy with the arrangement, and I'm not saying this to be sly or manipulative, but sometimes people will lose their way and they won't understand what's best for them. My good friend Daryl talks to me often about how, as a home seller, he helps people understand that buying a home and taking on that debt is an investment for them and their family that will pay dividends in the long run as long as they are responsible adults. Because some people have fear of taking that next step. So for me, I found it important to help this gentleman remember again the reasons why he wanted to sell. He didn't want to pay his monthly bill anymore. His wife wanted him to get rid of all the contents of the unit. He didn't have the time to sell everything that was in there. So I reminded him of these things. He's like, yeah, Jay, you're right. I understand all these things. I'll be honest with you. I decided to give it to my son. Okay. Now that we know the reason why he didn't want to move forward, we can go ahead and start working with that. So in your mind, where is the next logical step? Like you said, every stone must be turned. Okay, we must look at every opportunity that's in front of us. Who's your son? What's he do? Oh, he's seen what I've been doing for a while, and he said he just said he just wants to do it himself. Okay. Has your son done any reselling before? No, he hasn't. And this very sharp and almost dismissive tone, he didn't really want to explain to me everything that was going on. I needed to ensure that he fully understood the value of who I was as a buyer. I'm not just some Joe schmuck. Okay. I said, well, hey, I understand. We all started out as resellers someday. And, I take it that he sees an opportunity to make some money. And rather than you short selling it to somebody else, I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but can we just go ahead and assume that your son could benefit from having this unit and the opportunity to make some money? He's like, yeah, that's the situation. And I say, hey, I understand. I do a little bit of a show where I work with resellers and, I help them understand the market, help them learn how to sell on eBay, Amazon. I would love the opportunity to be able to connect with your son and maybe work with some of the things that he's simply not ready to work with yet. Because the inventory isn't gone. The inventory's still there. I'm just simply working with somebody else. And if I can open that door for myself to be able to get in there still and get first viewing on the inventory, and I explained to him. I said, I have a very dear friend to me. Her name is Susan. And we were working together on a very large project with a lot of goods. And it was my job to ensure that any goods that were of great value did not accidentally end out at a yard sale. And I'm not saying that she's incapable of figuring this out on her own. She certainly is. But my job was to make sure that the process was an easy one and a quick one and one that was beneficial for all parties involved. If your son would like, I would love to be able to meet with him, get him started on the process of sifting through the stuff, helping him separate what's really worth working with, making offers on other stuff to get some money in his hand. And if he would really like my assistance, I'd love to be able to sit down and show him some eBay stuff and some Amazon stuff. What was his response? Jay, that sounds amazing. That'd be great. I would love if you did that. Let me give him all your information, and then you guys can connect. Fantastic. I'd love to be able to help him out as well. And I truly would. I would like to be able to help him out, but at the same time, I want to be able to get some money in his pocket. So any salesman will tell you that if you have an opportunity to turn a no sale into a sale, you have to put the effort into it. You have to make sure that every stone gets turned over. Every opportunity that presents itself to you is an opportunity to make money. It's an opportunity to make a new friend. It's an opportunity to tell a story. Have fun, be a good person, live your life with great ethics. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in tonight's show, donated to the cause to help get us to eBay Open, which is less than 2 weeks away now at this point. Guys, I did the unthinkable and I actually revised the outro. I felt motivated to produce some content today. And boy, are things getting a little bit creepy in the outro. It's nearly 5 minutes long at this point, and it's the penultimate outro. Next week's one will be the final outro, if I feel motivated, which I should. The final outro before we release our polished eBay Open show outro to the world. Oh, and one other side note, we may have to stream in 480 or 720 due to unfortunate restrictions at this time when it comes to streaming at eBay Open. We'll talk about that more next week, guys. This has been the Sunday Reseller Roundup for July 14th, 2019. Thank you again to everyone who took the time to watch. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this with everyone around, and if you want to see your name in the outro, join us on Patreon. Guys, it's less than $1 a day to be a patron and help keep this show on the air, and you'll be in the outro as well. If you've seen the outro before, feel free to skip it. It's a little bit creepy at the end. I'm just going to say that right now. Thank you again, everyone, so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you next week. And remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. Have a great night, everyone. Man, oh man, was that a heck of a show that we just had. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're like, Jay, you were just here a second ago. You said you were going to roll the outro, and we're still talking. Why are we still talking if you said you were going to do the outro? Because this is the outro, and you didn't even realize it. Yeah, I know things don't always seem as they appear, but I thought I would make a little gaff of it, have a little bit of fun. So just like with the last one, 10 revisions. This is
number 9
of 10 that you're going to be seeing over the next 10 weeks. We've been doing this forever now. So I guess we'll start out as always and say thank you to our base level patrons. Thank you to all of you for supporting the show for so long. Some of you guys have been around forever. I truly appreciate that. And then I also want to give a thank you to our premium level patrons. Those of you who have been contributing even more to help keep us on air. Thank you to all of you as well. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Obviously, there's no green screen, but we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this. And lastly, we have our premium tier patrons, which I don't think we have any as of now. Well, if we do, place some right there, but I don't think we do. So thank you so much for watching, and just remember, your guys' continued support is what keeps me on air and keeps me working hard and keeps me digging up the truth, so that way we can all grow smarter and financially proficient together. That's about it. Have a great day. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%, completely. Yep. No, I told him the same thing. I told him, I'm like, just because you think it works doesn't mean that it actually works. Oh yeah, no. I'm totally aware. Has a huge subscriber base. Plenty of people watch his content. That's just the state of YouTube right now. You can't run around just making up stuff and telling people that it works. It's 2019. You have to be able to provide some type of evidence or proof for what you're saying. Otherwise, it's just a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. Come with me, my fellow compatriots. It's time we rise up and overthrow our oppressor. The time to break free and seek freedom is now. The days of our voice being silenced will soon come to an end. We will be heard by any means necessary.